already got a heart message. That's adorable.
Who?
Somebody already chatted a little heart in the chat. See? Is it working? Can you hear us?
I don't know.
Hot mic. Hello. This doesn't. Is this working? Oh, there's a delay, so I won't fucking know for a couple moments.
No, it's on. It's on.
Boom. It is. Oh my god. I'll shut my phone off and sit down. Let me get something. Where's my water? Oh, there it is. There it is. And my glasses.
Probably Revka.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's our other favorite baby.
Yeah. He's a machine.
Machine.
That's kind of musical, man.
Hell yeah, dude. We're just, getting the levels right. Our fans at this point know exactly what the fuck this show is, and they're like, I'm surprised they're alive. So this is really interesting just to begin with. Last time we saw Jenny, they
Are
had a
we
wig
alive?
on. Well,
Is that what we would call it now?
I mean, I could get all Buddhist about it and say no. Or,
I mean,
I
they've
mean,
only been doing that for thousands of years, so they did figure some shit out.
the more I read Buddhism too, I'm certain they're just trying to fuck with people, but like in the sweetest way. Because as you go through it, they're like, "You're not gonna get this," and it's not them being assholes. They're like, "No, it's there's just not a thing to get, sweetie," and you're like, "Oh, well, fuck. Thanks for nothing, Buddha." And he's like, "Yeah, that's it. That's right." And you're like, "Oh."
They smile at you. Yeah. Why are you smiling at me?
Motherfucker.
But did you get it? Did you get the message?
We're over there pump faking monks. What'd you say to me, bitch?
I know it wasn't that easy for you either, so why are you acting like it is for me?
That is the one thing I like about Buddhists, because they're not gonna be like I haven't run into too many arrogant Buddhists other than like kids who are just now like, well, I'm a Buddhist and it's kind of bitching, but like,
I'm sorry, but any Buddhists around here?
I'll have to introduce you to mine. I've got a pack of some that I keep hidden. They're delightful.
Probably gonna get annoyed super fast.
Oh, dude, they have such Detroit church energy. It's so fun.
Oh,
But they're
I
still
mean,
but they're Buddhists. But
the
like,
best.
you're like, what the fuck? Okay, this is terrific. You guys they're so fun. It's all the like Detroit church energy, but none of the like, you're going to hell for being a fucking faggot. You're like, oh, I'm going to hell for other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, they say you have to go through hell to like do. You're like, how many stages of hell?
9 or 10. There's a whole bunch of different hells. There's
Around
the
like,
hungry ghosts. There's
around like
the
3.5.
oh Jesus, yeah. You get to list it like you go through the list too of the different hells that the Buddhists have, and that's why I'm working on translating the Lotus Sutra into like just how grunts talk, because it's very literally somebody at the end of their rope, like, okay, here's the best I can fucking offer you. And when I translate that book into just how we talk to one another, it's an excellent like leadership text. But it is just that. It's some old motherfucker who's like, okay, kids, you've been lied to a mess. Here's the deal. Here's what's up here. Here's what's up there. This is bullshit. That's bullshit. These are cool. That's not cool. Like, most of it's the best. It's all weird language because you're like, oh, not weird. It was their language when they started it, so wasn't weird to them. Lost in translation though. But when you actually translate it, you're like, oh, these dudes are so chill and just like comedically straightforward.
Yeah.
They're like, you are fucked. There is no winning this. There's so many times in that in Buddhism where they're like, yeah, you're not gonna win. Everyone dies, you dumb shit. You're like, oh.
Super good message too. Not really one that like inspires a lot of people, but you're
Yeah.
like,
You can see why baptism,
I mean, you
or
know
what's
you-
the one? They win.
You know how this ends, right?
Right. And then you got the one guy who's like, or there's these fellers in dresses who play harps and you get to hang out and stare at this big feller's feet all day. And you're like, I might do that. Just in fucking case. Like, on the offhand chance that that shit's right. Yeah, that Pascal's wager, you're like, hang on. So you're saying there's either darkness and nothing, or I go over here and choke down these nasty crackers and I might get unlimited water slides and whatever the fuck they said at church? Like, that's correct. Well, you Buddhist motherfuckers have a good one. Like, I see how it works.
Yeah. And the money too.
Yeah. Oh my god,
That's why the Catholics win everything.
Yeah.
Of course, they do. They have the most money.
They don't have to invest. They're like, oh, we could get that.
They're like, that's. What'd you say the bill was?
Their system, though, is so weird because of all the weird hokey horse shit involved in being an international organization that big based on charities and shit. So, like, there was this issue in New Orleans that happened. Jackson Square, they needed to... No, not Jackson Square. At the Ursulines Nunnery, they needed to replace some of these shutters and stuff. And they couldn't do that because there was, like... Maybe I have all my facts wrong. It's some Catholic facility. It's in New Orleans for sure. It's either Ursulines or it's the cathedral. But they needed to replace something and they couldn't because they had to wait for a special Italian blacksmith to create holy nails that could be blessed by the Pope or some fucking madness. There was like a series of things of like, can we just swing down to ACO? And they're like, no. We have to get... There's a whole thing involved. We can't do that. And it's like, you guys have the money, right, though? And they're like, we do. But it's kind of roped up. We got to move buckets around. Like in the Air Force when you're trying to get days and dollars for somebody. And they're like, technically, yes, this is the Air Force. We have nuclear bombs lying around. But oddly enough, I don't have lunch money for your guys. And you're like, how do you not have lunch money? And they're like, well, we just don't have it here. We do have the lunch money.
They're like, we'll have to call for it. Wait 60, 90 days.
In the meantime, complete your order, and we'll just reimburse you for the meal, maybe?
Right. They will actually have the
Maybe.
audacity to be like, all right, so outside of the waiting, I just need you to do this.
Do you need your microphone by you? I just thought about that.
Is it not picking up on my...
It's
fucking
picking
big
me
ass
up.
mouth?
'Cause
No,
I'm-
it is. It's picking me up. We're good.
Okay.
Well, normally I'm right up on the fucking thing.
That's true. I've been like way quieter. I want to hear the levels just because I'm being paranoid now.
I mean, my voice does carry quite far.
There's these fellers in dresses who play harps, and you get to hang out and stare at the big
Figures
feller's
us.
feet all day. I might do that. Just in fucking case. Boy, on the offhand chance that shit's right. Yeah, that Pascal's wager. You're like,
Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
so you're saying there's either darkness and nothing,
Or you just didn't talk for that little
choke down
stretch.
these nasty crackers, and I might
You may not be
get
speaking.
unlimited water slides and whatever the fuck they said at church. That's correct. Well, you Buddhist motherfuckers have a good one. Like, I see how it works.
Kept going, kept going.
Yeah.
I'm definitely way louder.
Wait, can you not hear me?
It sounds like you're in the other room, because it's not pointed at your mouth. It's like recording over your shoulder.
Fuck me being short and
I
and
should
a
put it
Marine.
somewhere.
We all knew I was dumb before we signed this contract.
Shit. People always think the Air Force is smart, and I'm like,
You guys need to stop telling them that, because they are just as big a pack of fucking drool bucket goofballs as everybody else.
Like, we need to stop telling the Air Force they're the smart ones.
Okay, I think services in all the branches combined, like the services MOS, you have folks that, you're thinking about the 6 functional areas of logistics, right?
Kind of, sort of, except ours were all sort of like non-combat family support areas, like food, fitness, lodging, recreation, MWR. That was my specific purview in that area.
Is it 6?
I was attached to the 4 and the 2. They had a hard time figuring out where to put us for some reason. We ended up in the 4 a lot.
I do know anyone who works in any services MOS. Both of us did.
Yeah.
And we can work with another service branch. It is literally the only community where you can branch out to other services and they're doing the same shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to. You have to have.
And that's great too, because you can get a Navy cook over, you can get an Army cook over, and it actually helps your unit when you get that kind of multi-service.
They'll fall right in.
Oh, dude.
On the same operation, you'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna transport this here to there. We're gonna."
Dude, if you get sailors in, they're your bakers. You get soldiers in, they make your gross stuff. Like, you boys do the meatloaf. Like, on it. Like, you can really sort of.
Oh, the Marine cooks were whipping it on overseas.
Oh, dude.
They were fucking having a good time cooking food.
And they're
while
experts.
At war.
Just absolute experts in the expeditionary equipment. Like, the Air Force trains on the equipment and the Guard trains on it more. But the Marine Corps fucking literally lives and dies by that shit. And so the expeditionary equipment that we were training off of and would use every now and again, like Marine Corps cooks were just Iron Chef back of the car that shit. It's like madness. With the T-Rat, the fucking thing in the back.
Excited about it too.
Dude, that tray ration heater was fucking science when that came out.
They would.
It had the Rocketeer's backpack that heats up a goddamn pressure cooker. You can get a whole unit's worth of rats cooked.
Those
Ration,
eggs that
it's
aren't
not.
eggs, they would get so excited about making that shit. They would look down and say, "Look what I presented to you."
I've even made shit on a shingle.
Like, that's not even food. We're gonna eat it anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, science begs to differ.
When you're hungry, you will fucking eat anything. Star Academy was the first time I learned that. By the way.
Oh, as a kid, yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to pack all your meals for a week.
Yeah, which is hilarious because we let kids do that, and a lot of times people's parents are neglectful little creatures, or they just trust them. Either way, these kids just come with the wrong fucking meals all the time, and then you're like, oh my god, baby, you're gonna have nothing but diarrhea the whole week, or this one here, you're not gonna poop again, ever.
I made
ever
sandwiches in Ziploc bags and took them to Star Academy.
Oh, that couldn't even gone well at inspection.
I had meat in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did Goot say?
Goot? They let my gear pass.
What? Because he probably was like, what the fuck am I going to do?
That was when,
like, by Wednesday, you're going to want something else to eat. That Monday.
I had peanut butter and jelly that were just sitting in the sun. In the sun. In that fucking not the temper tent, the Yoda tent.
Just getting new textures the whole way through.
I'll tell you what, if you're fucking hungry enough, you will fucking eat it.
Well, there's that, yeah. Dude. There's certain stuff I will only eat when I'm like starving, or I say well, I used to be 400, now I'm a bit slimmer, but like When I'm like,
We both are.
like when I'm rough, like olives, like briny stuff. I'm not a briny person, but when I'm dehydrated and fucked up, I will pound briny stuff like olives, even capers. Which I'm like, I know Chelsea, you creature. Capers are so nasty, babe.
Yeah, the capers.
Mmm,
I felt
sour.
like such a fucking idiot when I went to the store the first time to get her chicken piccata.
Yeah, and if you've never heard of caper before, you've only heard of it in like the references like a Looney Tune crime. So you're like,
No, I
those
had
are
never
things you
heard
eat?
from it. Period. You could say capers. And I had to walk up to this lady looking. I mean, I must have looked like a lost dog. I was like, "Do you know what capers are?" She was like, "Aisle 17 up on the top shelf."
We keep up there.
Thank you.
They're
And
the dusty
I
ones.
still went and looked for like 7 minutes.
Because you're like, there's no fucking way she wants to eat those.
Yeah, I found this fucking jar. I even tasted one. I was like, "Fucking no."
Dude, yeah, and it, like, it's all of the parts I don't like about olives intensified.
Yeah, I like the sauce. I do.
Hi. Oh, the piccata sauce? Yes, because the brininess, once you hit it with the lemon and
Yep.
yeah, it really does balance nice.
But the capers, I know it takes that to make the dish what it is.
Yeah. You could almost actually go a different route and do like a not sweet gherkin, uh, like like a Dutch, like legit gherkin, like a salad gherkin,
Yeah.
and that gives you the crunch still, and then you're not as like with the like salt, and then you got an interesting use for pickles in a chicken dish.
Pickles.
Pickles are so badass.
Sounds like that Dane Cook skit that he used to do.
Which one? I remember the jelly one. Get the jelly, twat.
The pickles.
Sweet and sour sauce all over my pussy. We're gonna do ASMR like that.
Pull around. She wants some sauce.
Now.
This
Her
is
way.
Burger King. We get it our way. Love that skit.
Man, oh man. So what day is it? Today's 12th? 12.
It's 12 now that it's past midnight.
I'm so surprised. Now, I keep getting told we're on World War IV. I think we're up to 5 now. But I could be on. Are we still going up to 3? What's the fuss?
Feels like 3 never stopped.
Right.
Sorry, but like, I feel like we haven't stopped combat since we went over there in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
And people get pissy with that, too. They're like, well, that wasn't World War III. I'm like, do you guys not know what global means?
Right.
You guys not a big fan of fucking synonyms?
Right, they're like, it's just Iraq. People even get insulting and they're like, what's Fallujah?
Right.
I can't even finish the fucking...
Or like we've had babies in Africa, we've had babies in Southeast Asia, we've had them in Central Asia, we've had them in North Asia,
over the
we've had
place.
them in the whole of
Everywhere.
Asia,
All over the place.
Europe, South America, fucking Antarctica, doing science and shit.
Yes, we have folks preparing for all types of warfare
You name it, they're like fucking just in case.
all the time.
Because the hilarious thing too is a lot of people who join the military start off as like nervous Nellies, which makes them terrific planners because they're like, "Buh." So if you get
Yeah,
like
I might fall,
make them nervous,
I might get hurt here. I might.
yeah, safety
Once you
officer.
actually do it and you do get hurt for your first time,
Oh yeah, you're like, whatever.
it takes the sting out of it.
Dude, I am so reckless with my body. It is fucking weird. I get burnt and cut. I am just
Of course,
so
we
like.
know how much we can handle.
Everyone sees my posture here. This is the most feminine I've been in a few days. I got my Braun. Check it out, bros. I'm still going Shemale in case you are fucking wondering about it. I got that Johnny Cash voice, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I don't like the opposition on that.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
People getting all weird and picky about shit. Like, how do you think I feel, motherfucker? Now I gotta switch my britches out and all this other stuff and wear bras. I used to be a feller. I was a Viking. It was shit. I do like this. Don't get me wrong. Figuring this shit out and getting my meds right, literal godsend. It literally cured me. Cured is definitely an inappropriate word. But holy shit, it ended everything for me. Like the last piece of struggle I had on me, it just like, there she is. And I've been able to like do actual effective, like, because you guys saw from the earlier episodes, if you ever watched any of this shit, like I was done with the war ages ago. Something else was bothering me. And we found out what it was. Alright, I like fucking dresses and stuff. BFD. Charlie Mike.
Yeah, Jen, I mean, shit, it's been a long fucking road. 2018, we started this.
Yeah. And then, Jesus. So it was almost like
6 years ago.
Good Lord. I didn't realize how quick into the process I came out then too. Because I came out kind of like 2019 I was telling people, 2020, by 21 I was telling everybody. And I was like, oh. Because like by 19 I was still in the like don't ask, don't tell mind space. And I was still very much just like, you're not allowed to have fun. I was like, Roger, no fun. And then just, I let my brain do a what if for a half second. I was like, fucking goddamn it, I'm gay as fuck.
I almost spit that
I
out.
better look into that.
Almost spit that
The second I was like, oh, all right.
I have an iron gut, by the way. I mean, let's give a fucking round of applause to that thing.
The Smirnoff Pineapple? Pinapole.
No, trying not to cough Smirnoff Pineapple up. Shit. So, I'm glad we ended up recording the stuff. You know, I think it's important, even though some of it is like extremely embarrassing and
Yeah.
it's probably not something I want my kids to see, but I think it's important that they do at the same time.
Like, there's honestly like 3 episodes where we're gonna be like, "Grr, babies," but then like honestly though, those were still gonna. I keep saying honestly like abroad. Those are gonna impact them positively still, and the other ones like the other 100 are all gonna be positive impacts as well, and it's gonna be because the thing too is like at a minimum, there's episodes we have where if they don't get an opportunity to have that conversation with you, that conversation's there. Or at least they can like pop up your side to it. And because there's questions like my dad didn't even kind of understand, and it's just because he was lucky enough to have missed a certain couple of waves. And I asked him one day about the music my grandpa Saley would listen to.
That one.
Oh, I know, right? He's like, what? Because my grandpa Saley used to sit and listen to these albums, and he'd just stare out the windows, and just anytime he was frustrated or like done with everybody else, he just out back, cracked the album, and it was Glenn Gould's recording of Bach songs for the Slaughterhouse-5 soundtrack for the movie of it. And then I had this fucking like, oh, good God, kind of sick to my stomach time travel moment. Like standing next to my grandfather in that room as he's listening to the album about time travel. As he time travels back to fucking France. As he can't help. Because we're clanging pans like a pack of fucking assholes.
I mean, now that I've seen the shit with my own fucking eyes and I've experienced it myself, I do get it.
Yeah.
Like it's a
They gotta see
yeah.
it.
You lose days at a time, weeks.
Years. Decades.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's.
This version of me woke up 36 years old, basically. Whatever the fuck year that was.
I don't even think I've woken back up.
Right?
Uh,
And that's a real thing. That's a real fucking thing. For. Especially, like, if you go through such a disassemblage of self. And people are like, well, just fucking buck up. Like, alright, well, how about I destroy everything about you, take anything you believe in, fundamentally, crush it to a fine powder. What else could I do? Like, the list is ridiculous.
I
And
know.
metaphors
Yeah,
don't
no.
work.
I start going through. It's like going through an encyclopedia and just being like, we'll throw all this shit.
Yeah.
We'll throw every fucking word, every fucking bad thing that there is. I don't even know what it is yet. We're gonna try it just because it's in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we know it exists, that it could happen.
Yeah. Like, that's the, like, oh man, being smart fucking sucks. Because, not even smart, being wiser sucks. Being anything, like, being a moron's gotta be great sometimes. Because you're probably just bebopping around and like, you know what? This is cool. And God bless you, you precious little creature.
Yeah, no, being a.
But anybody getting a B or higher is fucking panicking right now.
What do they call it?
You see, students probably
smart,
okay.
Smart retard. I mean, that's me. If anyone wants to know that, I'm
Yeah, I told a bunch of folks
smart
in my
enough just to
unit.
be dangerous.
I was like, I am the smartest moron you will ever meet. Or the dumbest genius.
I shouldn't say the R word. No offense to anyone. I love every.
It's for our French audience.
More Dutch.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those motherfuckers. They started this whole mess, really, if you think
no,
about it.
I mean, the Dutch aren't gonna lie to you. We'll just say it how it is.
You would shoot pricks.
I love that scene from Ted Lasso, the Dutch guy.
Yes. Dude, he was so like. Does she go back to him in that show? I forgot. Did she go back?
She doesn't go to either one. They ask her to choose, like, two Neanderthals, and then she showed them the door right after. You talking about Keely?
No. I was talking about Rebecca when she hung out with the.
Oh, she went to the pilot.
Who was the pilot? The guy on the boat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And his kids.
Yeah.
The psychic said, "You're gonna have a."
Yeah. God damn. That show was such a surprise to me.
Show
I had
was
no anticipation.
slamming fucking success.
I'm like, what the fuck? How is Ted Lasso so goddamn good?
We do have a sign that says "Believe" right around the fucking corner. By the way, I mean that show is fuck.
Yeah. It's worth like the time to sit with it if you're like, meh. It sells itself pretty quickly too. I was like, I don't know, and then within 5 minutes, I'm like, we can watch the rest of these episodes.
Whoa, all the characters are fucking awesome.
And they develop like authentically, and persistently, and like uh, that part was really nice to see too. Where
Everyone,
like,
yeah, everyone. They covered mental health. They covered the gay thing. They covered people from Nigeria and like they covered Richmond and how much of a fucking asshole they are, and I should say rich people, but they portrayed rich men, rich white men. I mean, we know the gig.
yeah,
Uh,
at least till we can reset it, and then I will gladly bitch about rich black men. But once that's a fucking thing, then I'll bitch about it.
I didn't have to bitch about Obama at all. I fucking
Yeah.
loved that dude.
Dude.
Fuck. Obama literally could
The-
sell ice to an Eskimo.
Executor in chief.
When he said, "Yes, we can," yes, we can. Like, what? What are we doing? I don't
Yeah.
even fucking know. We're about to go do it though.
And he kept getting like stifled by morons, which was infuriating. And it was because like I didn't vote for him the first time. I
He
was
had a lot
of
of
that
weight on
old
his
school
shoulders, 'cause
hillbilly
he
and
was the
shit.
first black president.
And this is America, so he's biracial, so we're still making that count too. We're like he's half
God,
black.
saying he's not even a fucking
Right.
citizen.
They're like
and-
he's not white, he's not black, he's a
Oh,
this, he's a that.
Jesus.
Like this kid's
Fucking
American
Get over your fucking
as
self.
fuck. Born in what, Hawaii? Fucking raised in downtown Chicago with a single mother? American as fuck. Suck my dick. Sounds like a goddamn Elvis song, or at least 3 Elvis albums put together. Blue Hawaii in the ghetto. Come on now, the Obama story. Don't tell him I said that. Well, maybe.
The worst decision we ever made as a country was making the suburbs.
Yes, yes, yes. It was a weird post-war expansion sort of thing as a way to deal with the spread of communism. As like, we don't want to do cities, we don't want to do urbanization and industrialization. We want to do a sort of like weak dick 40 acres and a mule for everybody. So everybody gets an acre and a dog instead. And we're like, well, that's dumb. And also,
It was the easiest way to make the most people submit. They basically said, "What do we have to do to shut you guys up?"
yeah,
And then
distract distract the living shit out of them.
They're like, "We'll just give you a house and a couple cars, and you can have a retirement, but you can't like go too far. Like, we don't want you to ever do that, but you can go far enough to where you'll be comfortable with your life,
Yeah.
and then you get to die."
And then we'll also make sure that your community is so sort of like mono market or whatever the fucking way you want to call it, like that the idea of you having skills outside of it, like being a blacksmith or a furrier or an artist, or those are asinine horseshit things. Because
I
like,
I wish people saw that like I learned that getting out of the Marine Corps. My appreciation for like skilled trades and like doing things outside of just like going to a fucking office every day and
oh dude, when I started learning about 3D printing from like tool and die folks, I was furious that I think I've mentioned it 8,000-9,000 times in this podcast, because like when I was growing up, they actively said, don't go into the trades, don't get a job with your own name on your shirt, don't do this, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. So I'm from Waterford. Anybody from Waterford can tell you exactly how fucking well that education system pays off for the babies. Yeah, just brilliance and bullshit, and people who have been so like just abused left and goddamn right that they can't.
get mad at them.
Yeah, it's so hard to. I try because they piss me off. Oh God, they piss me off.
Yeah, no.
But like I can't be mad at them or stay mad at them.
You look at them, you hate them for what they're doing, and then you sit back for a second and just it makes sense once you think about it.
Yeah. Once you go, well, somebody had to show them that. And then it all like clicks, and you're like, no. Like, then history hits you in the face all at once.
Unfortunately, we've learned that lesson too much recently.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been. So many folks are ready to just give up, quit on other people's behalf, assume other people are quitting. Like, it is really weird, this sort of like opposite of hoorah that people have, like this Eeyore. Like, oh, bother.
Do you really blame them?
Well, no. But
I mean, how can you? Like,
I've been
The-
through a
the
lot, but
amount
I'm
of, like,
insane.
the amount of, is it mistreatment?
Mistreatment, neglect, abuse.
Neglect, yeah, let's just say neglect and abuse, sexual assault,
Mhm. Yeah.
domestic violence, all these things.
America's a super rapey place.
Yeah, and before you look at me, just know
We got lists and lists and lists. I've had to give commanders briefings before about lists I got, motherfuckers. Lists and lists.
yeah, I have done a lot of bad shit. I need to understand completely how a predator works because I can't hunt them unless I understand it. So, I have done bad shit. I've also taken accountability. No one is ever gonna take that away. At least I fucking
Yeah,
try to make right.
half the folks out there, when you get in those battles anyway, and you find people doing right, are people who either fucked up themselves or are the children of people who fucked up. That's 50%. Like, that's who's there. And then like there's a weird percentage of people who are like, I heard they're giving out backpacks. And you're like, get the fuck. But everybody else is there because what the fuck else were they going to do?
I don't know. Jen and I, we come from
Hundreds of years of this shit.
well, we also come from, the belief that, this was meant for something, and that this was gonna mean something.
Or at least fucking can. It is a function of the thing to allow it to do that. It doesn't have to be wielded so fucking like just wildly and purposelessly and fucking.
Honestly, I've always struggled with handling civilians, even when I was in Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
I had a kid spit on the fucking flag in front of me, just to disrespect me, and I didn't hurt him, by the way, and he is a chief in the Navy SEALs right now. People don't realize that, like,
They have the right to. I might hurt my feelings, but like, hey man, I will not hold the lighter, but like I'll hold your backpack while you set the fucking thing on fire. Like it's not. I don't want to be. Let's talk about it first or later. But like,
yeah,
whatever. Do you?
Yeah, I knew his dad was a fucking alcoholic, lawyer.
So
Max was a.
he'd always talk his way in and out of why he was being an asshole.
He was a karate champion.
Back in the '90s when that mattered. Or no, this was 2000s when
He
you
was
were.
a big time. I walked into his room and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, are these all yours?
yours?
You know, his
or
trophies were almost as tall as me.
do you
And I know
store
I
some
say
of them?
that, that's not an insult to me. I'm talking they were at least 3.5 fucking feet.
Dude. Sometimes with those are the shit, but then you gotta wonder, like, they definitely didn't think about the parents on that one. When they get those like 6-foot
Why the parents
trophies.
paid.
Oh
His-
my god.
His dad made a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh, that's true.
So,
God, it sucks that kids have to pay for shit. That's like, can we at least agree as a country to just be it's okay to be communist for kids, and then just call it there like fuck adults,
I agree.
communism for kids.
You know, that's the reason why I didn't get to play some sports in, like when I was growing up. I asked to play basketball. I asked to play football, and they were like, "Can't do that.
Yeah.
'Cause the equipment is too much." I asked to play hockey.
Yeah.
They were like, it costs too much. I had to learn how to get it all done. 'Cause I played all three of those sports, just at different times. Marine Corps, Civil Air Patrol, whatever. Marine Corps.
I had band and CAP. That's pretty much. I had basketball, but I quit basketball in 5th grade because that was not a team sport, or at least the team I was playing with.
Say basketball.
Yeah, I was pretty goddamn good too. Although I'm curious how I'd be. I can still shoot well now, but I'm a little bit less coordinated now. But that may just be a focus thing.
I play too aggressive. I throw too many elbows.
Oh yeah, but I'm
I
a forward.
I check too hard. I'm honestly like soccer and hockey are right up my fucking alley. It's speed and it's hitting people really fucking hard.
Like if you, oh I don't know, cause like I would almost put you at a center, cause like a lot of centers are super tall, but I like a short center from time to time, cause it fucks up everybody else's math. And then, but
In basketball,
yeah.
Chauncey Billups was
Yup.
yeah,
Yup.
shortest one on the team, by the way.
Goddamn right, and he was in there. People are like, I can't fucking.
I say shortest one, he was 6'7".
That's short for Detroit.
I'm a full foot shorter than that grown ass man.
I'm 7 inches shorter. I might be. I wonder if I'm like getting. I'd be curious. I haven't like measured my height and weight in a minute. I wonder if I'm getting shorter or. I know I'm getting thinner. Or lighter. A bit thinner. This angle is not even kind of flattering. Though you can kind of see the boobage a little. What up? What up, YouTube? Check out these titties. Yo.
Cancelled.
Like and subscribe. Fucking donate or something. Is this what you want? You click for the trans girls. You got her. Woo! Is that the pose? Ooh, danger pose. I'm gonna try and get as wide as humanly possible. And as unappealing as I can.
Wait, Matt, come on.
So I don't get the like.
This is gonna be hilarious when you come down. So we've been going through lots of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some stuff. It was basically like a batch of popcorn, right?
Yeah, it was kind of one after the other. A lot of good stuff to kind of get out there. I think it is one of those fucking. You say it all the time, like, really? We're we gotta drive the bus this far for everybody to see the goddamn thing? Like, holy shit.
Look, you know that's what it took in the Marine Corps for me to get them to take me seriously.
Yeah.
I literally had to push the joystick all the way down, drive my own fucking vehicle straight into a fucking mountain cliff,
Yeah.
and then be like, now do we get it? And they
Yeah.
were like, now we're gonna mark you as a dessert.
guys, guys, guys.
Okay. You know, and they got it right. Like the medical professionals, after screaming at them for a little bit, they finally like wrote up you better medically retire this bitch
Yeah.
before he kills all of his unit.
They're like, do you not hear that sound? Like a fucking, it's it's almost like a hissing sound, like a fucking can of something in the microwave. Like, turn that off, turn that off. Like that's the doctor's note.
By
Like,
the way, I was not gonna hurt anyone. The whole point of that was practically theater.
yeah. Well, a good sergeant is like Alice Cooper, and like they know when to put the show on and when to wear the makeup and when to
Yes.
not. And you're like, hey, baby.
I understood the assignment. That was it. I just said, okay, we're not gonna do it that way. And I kept telling people, I'm like, I'm struggling. I did everything that they asked me to do. Call people, do this, do that, say that you need help. You know,
Oh, yeah.
reach out.
You tell people that you need help, and they go, yeah, but like with what? And you're like, oh Christ, this is not the time for that.
Yeah, they're
like,
like,
this is the time for you.
You filled out your survey after you got back from deployment. You said there was no problems.
Everybody, the minute they fill it out, they go, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Let me go home. Let me go home.
Of course
Let
you
me go
do.
home.
They told you to do that when they.
And
They
then
told you before you walked into the room. They were like, "Hey,
oh,
if you don't want to get fucked with, you better fucking answer no on everything." You're
and
like,
then you get that the 6-month post deployment is when a lot of dudes get their first like. Yeah, I haven't slept yet. And they finally start, like, because the initial is, like, the day you get back, kind of. Like, the minute they're doing your debrief of, like, welcome home. And then you have, like, a 6-month. I know in the Air Force we did, at least at the time when I was in. We had a 6-month post-deployment. And then, I mean, honestly, really, anyone who's been deployed, you should just do them every 6 months for the rest of their fucking life. Sorry, Floyd.
you should. I remember.
'Cause
we were finishing up our deployment, and I got. So I got removed. The Marine Corps is fucking stupid sometimes. So, because I was in an improvised rifle platoon, I wasn't in Bravo Company. I was attached to H&S as one of their line platoons because I was QRF and all that shit.
Okay, yeah, that's how my grandpa was with the 44th.
So, when we got done with deployment, they put me back in Bravo Company. They were in the train station in Fallujah, like the north. Yeah, that's where they stayed. Was in the yeah.
That was where they're like tents and barracks
Yes.
and
That was their fob
down ass fucking town.
in the train station.
Jesus Christ, like a Fallout 4 level. Whoa. Holy. Those poor babies. All of them. Locals, those
so
kids.
I went to boot camp with
Fuck.
this kid. We went to boot camp the same day, and he was in Bravo Company with me.
Mm.
Now he was actually like attached to a line company in. I'm sorry, not a line. It was a line platoon. From Bravo. I was attached to a line platoon from H&S. 2 different ways. The first time I got to see someone like starting to get it was him.
Yeah.
After the like deployment was done, I got reattached to them. I met up with him. His stories were fucking awful. Awful fucking stories.
Yeah.
Kids, everything. Shit I won't even say right now.
Yeah.
Um,
They really used you guys to fucking do some dirty shit down there. Stuff the Army couldn't handle, stuff the fucking Air Force couldn't put the skirts off to do. Just to like 3-4 times too. Like you were there the second
I was at
Fallujah.
the end of the second. I wasn't even in the second one. I was at the end of it. Phantom Fury.
And then weren't there a few more instances where that poor goddamn town got rattled again?
It was just two. It was just two, and that's all it took. It was 3 and 5. Yeah.
And then what was the? Was there an ISIS thing up there too?
Always been.
Oh, I know. Those poor
Well,
babies.
not ISIS, but it's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, as long as we're not.
Call themselves a different name like every couple of years. It's just people who hate Americans that kill their fucking fathers and mothers and siblings.
Pretty much everybody they know. No shit. 2014. There we go. 2013 to 2014 they held it. Jesus. Those poor babies. ISIS was wild too, because it's like, well, I mean,
ISIS was just them fighting back.
yeah. And it was like their extremist
I mean, I don't-
version,
I
but
don't
it was
wanna-
like the extreme, which is hilarious because everything they did was like it was a parody. It was ICP. It was Alice Cooper. It was parody. It was a response to.
Of course it was.
And you're like, oh Jesus! And we're like, you guys are fucking. And you're like, no one sees the joke. No one gets why they're throwing homos off the top of roofs and stuff.
They literally
Like
did
even I get the in joke on that.
propaganda. They did everything was a fucking show. They're showing force.
Yes.
Literally the same thing we do right now.
Yes. However, they're doing it on a budget, on a YouTube budget, because that's what they got. They don't have a fucking us
It
budget,
exploded,
they
though.
budget.
Like they got huge, and
Just like YouTube.
if the government is watching this, fuck you, bitch. And
Uncle Sam touched my wiener.
no,
Uncle
I
Sam
didn't
touched
say
my
I
wiener.
supported fucking ISIS, motherfucker. I'm
Yeah.
saying I understood it.
Yeah. If you didn't see it coming, you were a fucking moron. That's all we're saying. Which, well,
What did they expect? Dick Cheney.
dude, that whole scenario was bizarre because it was these like dudes who had been cultivating these beliefs among themselves that they had some secret knowledge about how the world worked and how
No,
it
they
could
knew
do
how the
this
world-
and blah blah. But
They knew how money worked.
right. Because it was based all on that. It was
Sure.
all based on like, as long as the 6 guys I know are running stuff, we're good. And then they kind of like the second all that goes out, they're like, oh, so we're fucked, right?
Old rich white dudes. I
It's
hate to
fun.
say it, but even in the Federalist Papers, number 10, this bitch actually said, people who have money and land deserve the right to represent everyone else.
Right.
What?
Cause
So nobody else gets a say because you came here with money.
See, and then they forget the most American sort of like tenet of all is we outnumbered you. landlord.
We've always outnumbered them. People walk around. I know, and they call me a pussy too. They call me a pussy.
Oh, you think?
Because I don't whip back at them.
Right.
Right? Because I don't actually react. I'm a bitch.
Right. I'll holler. Oh, I will. I might hurt some feelings, pretty spicy type. But, like, I ain't gonna break your goddamn jaw
Right.
until you make me. Like, I'm not gonna do it on.
I don't want to do this. We
Yeah.
don't want to do this.
Yeah, I've been telling people all the time. I wanted to be a painter. He wanted to be a singer. At a minimum, he was a singer for a bit. I was a painter as a kid. And then they're like, no, you fruits need to go murder fellas.
You heard me sing as a kid, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oklahoma?
Yeah. Spooky.
Billy Gilman?
And then they're like, no, quit that, homo. Go fucking shoot that brown feller.
No, actually,
We're like, Roger.
you know what? Nobody in my family said a fucking word.
No shit. That's awesome, dude. That's fucking cool. At least,
Now,
like,
when I was singing, we used to have like karaoke parties. We used to record them. We used to compete as families.
See, if my family wasn't so self-conscious, I don't think they would have associated it with the like queer thing or whatever. But like, I told you though too. They made me. I say made me. They talked me into playing the trombone because they thought the clarinet was too gay, and I was just like, whatever. I'll take your advice and pick the fucking. The Glenn Miller played the trombone. And I'm like, okay.
Hold on,
What did he do? And like, oh, he died in a plane accident. I'm
I
like, okay.
have something
Cool.
you should read.
What? Is he gonna make me cry or laugh or throw this?
Might, I mean, we'll roll the dice.
Is it my mom saying she bought me a clarinet?
No, of course not.
No, it's not that cathartic.
So, my mom wrote this to my Aunt Liz. She sent me that the other day. And there's 4 pages.
Her handwriting is exactly like my mother's.
That cursive.
Did they just teach that to broads that year?
She whipped it on. You gotta cursive the fuck out of this thing.
My mom would write me notes and be like, no idea.
See, you should see my cursive. It's beautiful.
You should see it by dad's. It's insane.
I just don't do it because no one else like even appreciates it when I do it.
Oh, I do it in my
I
journal.
used to write letters with that shit.
Yeah, me too. I used to write letters to my grandma back and forth when they moved to Tennessee. My grandma was my pen pal.
I know. Now you write cursive and they're like,
Oh yeah, you write somebody a letter in cursive now, they're going to assume you're going to murder them later. They're like, this is how I find out. I'm like, they're gonna come get me. No one puts this kind of effort in time.
they're like, that's stalker mode. He's definitely gonna cut off
Oh.
my head today.
Dude, I wrote a gal a letter in like 2012 and they wigged out. And they're like, this is the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, this is how humans communicated for centuries. But whatevs. Okay, darling.
I love that that's associated with homicidal behavior.
They're like, well, because you get their address. And it's like, babe, you gave me your address. I've been to your house. We've had sex.
I've literally dumped inside of you. What the fuck are we talking about?
Sorry, my letter is spooky.
Sorry, I shouldn't say that. There's no dumping inside of anything. Yes, there is.
No
My
dumping
exes,
zone.
Yep, dumping.
However, the result of those dumps.
Great kids.
Those kids are cute as
No.
buttons.
Here they are claiming credit for it too.
I know. I don't think they understand the power of genetics. I tried to outrun mine. Christ almighty, did I.
I know, I gave them champion genes and mothers can't even say fucking thank you for...
Cut their hair like a bunch of assholes. I gotta see that boy. I hope he looks as handsome as he wants to. And that's all that matters.
Jerry Bear?
With the perm and the mushroom cut
Oh,
thing.
no, Caden. Caden is, no, he actually is...
He's digging it? So wild. These kids are problems. Jeremy, he had the little guy, he had the luxurious, like,
He's got the J. Beebs haircut.
he's like quaffing it, and you're like, okay.
God, my kids.
They all have like business poses.
I know, they're... Oh, except for that one.
Yeah.
Except for that one. Pose my fucking 10-year-old, like... She's going out for a modeling shoot.
The hat was adorable, but
The hat was adorable.
on like a 16, 17-year-old. I mean, the hat actually, the age isn't the
Jeez,
issue.
I almost got more mad thinking about her being 16 or 17 wearing that fucking hat.
Oh, I know.
Uh,
Because then she'd be a bitch. Because we know the kind of gals who wear that. Actually.
no, my girl's gonna be a fucking problem. I already know
Oh,
it.
I know. Hell yeah. Girls should be problems. Boys have been problems for so goddamn long.
I just want her to be a problem that can, like, handle business.
Yeah.
Not a problem for herself. Problem for everybody else.
Cool. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Like, I don't want... Honestly, I want my daughter to be able to fight both of her brothers. And do successful.
Yeah.
Uh,
Her poor brothers are like,
I
what the
want her
fuck?
I want her to act like my sister.
We're suburban boys. We don't understand all this.
My sister and my dad got into a fight one day, and she hit him with a fucking bat. When we were kids.
Well. Had that one coming.
No.
Oh,
I'm
this
talking
is-
about way before that, like 8 years before that.
He's like, come here.
Oh, no, he talked sideways to her one day, and she grabbed that bat off the floor, turned around, and fucking, it was, actually gave my dad, like, he got caught right here.
Dude, like if the Irish are a species or something, like, or that just whole fucking all of North Europe, there's just a weird, like, what? Like, other cultures, you know, the sort of like racist jive is like, oh, these guys are hot-headed and those guys are hot-tempered and blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, I don't know if you've ever seen a near albino get fussy. The second I start turning red, fucking clear the room, kids. Like,
That means too much alcohol or too much anger. It's what...
Something's not circulating the way it was a moment ago, and everybody fucking watch out.
Yeah, when...
Christ, we took over North America drunk.
We started making weird noises, like, let's just clear the fucking room.
Yeah.
We do make the noises, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That whole battle cry thing.
Fuck, even the accent comes out sometimes where you're like, is that just a booze thing? Or you're like, oh, top of that.
Right?
Guys, I think I just got possessed by a leprechaun, and it was spooky. But I'm pretty fucking hammered, so it's okay.
Leprechaun's still here with me. He never left, ever since I watched the original one, he has never left my dreams. I'm just joking.
It's the same fellow who played Willow. Man, the Willow TV show, I didn't even kind of like it. The writing in it was dog shit. I don't understand. Like, they were so close, and then they just had these, like, weird moments of these, like,
The writers give up now. It's more about like the cash grab.
is it Pavlov's gun? Whose gun am I thinking of?
No, Loki was
One of them guns.
Loki was
Holy
actually
shit.
like every
Loki-
once in a while. Sometimes the writers are like, "Fuck this, we're gonna fucking write this
Yeah.
way it should be." Loki was great.
And
The
then-
new Pope.
Oh my god.
Uh,
The new Pope is just like, oh, it'd be a great podcast. Like, just listen to it. even.
Hustle. That movie off Netflix. That was a fucking really good one.
I do want to like deep dive into. We gotta get GJ around again because he's always up on like what movies are the shit and what have you. But I would love to do like shrooms and dig into like fucking wild movies again because I have been so.
I love that we don't have to hide that.
Oh no, yeah.
Can I get the?
We're live at beautiful, sunny Detroit City where shrooms are, fucking don't talk about it. And, but don't worry about it. There you go.
No one's gonna do anything anyway.
Yeah. And it also fucking works a goddamn charm.
It does work, right? The research is there. It's so fucking dumb that we're still having debates about shit. When I'm like, you don't even have to argue with me. Just argue with Google.
Go for it. And like we've even gone and gotten like the first-hand anecdotal, and then done our own fucking 8 whole bags of this shit.
I mean,
Done
there's-
too much, done too little, done.
I mean, Jen has literally fucked all these books.
There's more over there too.
Yeah, there's tons.
The Jenny Durden Library.
I get Jenny. Jenny gets those books. Jenny is kind of like my source of information. Sometimes.
My family was big on books because they weren't all great at talking and sharing their feelings. So they'd be like, here, do this. And so, like, in a lot of ways, like, the books are sort of a extension of my family in a weird way.
Yeah, but you've taught me so much from what you learned from those books.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the communicating with you to talk about what you've learned, like, that is, that's equally as powerful as reading the books.
Yeah. Well, and I think the nice part about nonfiction,
are.
too, is, like, I can spoil it for you. Like, big fucking deal.
True story. We can get through 1,000 pages a lot quicker. Jen will just tell you it ends right here. Okay.
Like, yeah, don't worry.
Fuck.
This guy dies, but we're going to talk about it.
Oh.
His name is Bocephus.
So many people struggling right now.
Yeah. Man, I get so tempted to start like a cult or a religion or a church or something. Just 'cause like it seems like that's the speed route, but then that also means it's not the right route.
I think your
Like-
orphanage thing is a better one, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be like an orphanage for.
I have an all ages orphanage.
You know, if you could say kids, because I guess the metaphor works there. Even I'm a child.
All of us
Like,
at times.
I admit it, 100%. I'm not. Sometimes I throw a temper tantrum like a 3-year-old.
Some people don't become orphans till their 70s. Shit, if I'm lucky,
I was an orphan at 30.
right? My
My dad got it in his 50s, and my mom got it in her 60s.
I just didn't want to see my parents go out that way.
No. No one does.
I mean, but both were.
Yeah, that is. You're like, what the fuck, gang?
Both were so fucking awful. People get uncomfortable when you talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's something. I couldn't talk this that way, Mike, but whatever. Like the terms of service violation involved in telling our own biography is kind of wild. Oh, it's just too hot. It's charged just fine.
Got too hot.
But
Do you want me to get the? You want me to get this one?
No, it's cool. I can slow down probably. That's probably what that means. But yeah,
Since whatever that meant.
right. The like sort of native terms of service violation involved in telling our own life story. Like I've got the ChatGPT subscription, and I'm sitting there hollering at this robot, and then it's like, "Whoa, hey buddy, red flag," and I'm like, "No, it's cool. It happened to me. I'm fine. We're here. I'm telling you." And it's like, "All right, well," and so there's a lot of times where like, if I'm working on like that portion of my biography, or because with my fucking peepers being busted, I've been loving AI for helping me reformat my writing, so I can just like free write and then it puts it in the format I want. That's sort of like what I'm up to.
I've been doing the same thing.
Oh, it's so great.
I'll just finding Forcer that shit,
Yup.
free write the fuck out of it, and then I'm like, all right, format it like this, ping it.
Yup. Yup.
Motherfucker doesn't wait a second. And I asked the computer, by the way, I'm like, can you do this for me?
Right.
And they're like, yeah, I'm pleased to help you.
Oh, thanks,
What
buddy.
can I do? And I'm like, all right, let me, brrr, and then send
Yeah.
it out, and it kicks it right back. Oh. Sometimes it misses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sometimes it gets sassy too.
Oh my god. Yeah. When the machine gets tired, you're like, this is hilarious, but also
I know, it's like,
existentially
I can't
terrifying.
perform this. I can't perform this. I'm like, I read your terms of service.
Yeah, I know what you can do,
Yeah,
buddy.
I read the updates. I know what you can do. Reach back. Do what I fucking said.
And you know what's interesting? The GPT 4.0, I haven't had nearly as many of those like peter out spells as 4 would, where 4 would just be like, can we be done? And like it would just start
Whiny
like
bitch, right?
yada yada, and it would kind of
Yes.
do that thing, and you're like,
Yes.
what the fuck, dude? And where 4.0's like, what do you need, sir? And
Well,
you're
you almost
"All
had to
right."
like talk to it, like sweet,
Oh,
or
yeah.
when do what you wanted.
I'm still in the habit. I do
Be like,
yeses.
I can only write
please.
a page.
Thank you. No, thank you. Oh yeah, I do 1 page at a time.
That's
Or
all
one
it would
section
tell
at a
me it
time.
would do.
That's what I do anyway, because I can't. I'm like, okay, let's work. Or I'll do like a 3-page section of like, let's do this sort of like run, and then I like to assemble it run by run, and then upload it. Like, here's what we wrote together. Now we're working on this bit.
Sometimes I'm like, just finish the fucking story, and it's like, you get page 1 of 7.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so write page 2 then. And it's like, okay.
Or then like 3, it just tells you what it would put on there if it was going to, and you're like, no. I said write page 3. I didn't say write to me what you might put on page
You know,
3.
then it gets all sassy, and it's like, I can't recall back to what you said about that. Bitch.
Dude, I love these things. People are like, yes, the end of the world. I'm like, this is hilarious. Let her rip, dude. You guys need to read some Albert Camus, and you'll be nearer to fine than you were yesterday. Sir with the plague, and
I love the title of the show, by the way.
I know. Our diamond dog is sleepy.
Oh, yeah.
Our new doggy.
You're talking about the young one.
Mm-hmm.
worn himself out tonight.
Yeah. Is that thing I wrote the other day, the weight of all of human history on one end and then the weight of all of human expectation on the other. And fuck me if that won't crush you.
Oh, he crushed me a few times tonight.
Yeah. Definitely feeling my mommy hormones. Which is weird, but like, I'll first hand up that as somebody who was fully prepared to be a giant fella their whole life. To all of a sudden be like, my boys are hurting, and that hurts me. Like,
No,
and it
I
does.
expect you to be like that. I was thinking about some of the stuff he said.
Yeah. These poor kids.
You know, our new guy doesn't have a dad. You know, just like me, and his dad wasn't all that great, but his dad raised him the same as mine did.
Yeah.
Country life,
Fucking whatever good parts they could give you. It's like euchre. You're like, is this all the cards we're getting? And they go, yeah. You're like, all right, well, I can learn to like this game.
they make you hard. But they didn't have the follow through.
Yeah. Yeah. And regrettably, like, there's also sort of the ironic, symbolic lack of follow through that is early death. Where you're like, whoa. Like that Shakespeare himself would be like, I'm gonna have to steal that one. Like, it's about as poetic as it gets. It's that sort of, that irony. Is it irony? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's more
Alanis
like a
Morissette
bitter
ruined it for me.
cruelty, right?
Yeah, tragedy for sure.
Tragedy is a good word. I mean, that's been most of it, right? Most of it was just fucking tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
again and again and again. You know, that's the thing that I get sick of is the tragedy of it.
Yeah. Needless at times. Compounded. Or just stared at for like fucking circus effect.
Yeah.
Because I've said it a few times, sort of being bitter and hollering, but and I don't know if people necessarily put it consciously in their mind, but I do see certain behaviors where when someone suffers, someone else is going to use that as an opportunity to like add a fun chapter to their life for the week. Of like, oh my God, so and so is having such a bad day, but I helped out and I da da da. And they're rather than
It's like buying a Christmas card.
yeah, yeah,
It's or a gift card for a gift. You give it to them, and you're like, "Didn't you see the work I did?"
right. Oh, oh,
I mean, thanks, right?
because like even at least in my
You
family,
bought me a meal from Panera Bread. Okay.
right. We all did the gift card thing these days. Like once we hit like Christmas after like 30 became gift cards for everybody, which is terrific because we're all like, I don't have time for your shit. Let's put Christmas in our wallet and get the fuck out of here, which is perfect there. But none of them are like, I don't know if you guys remember, but I got you the AMC gift card, not an MJR. Like nobody's that fucking cunty about it either. Where they're like,
She taught me a fucking lesson about gift giving.
I bet she was
Obviously.
fucking wild.
You've seen some of the gifts.
I have seen some of them. They are wild. That makes so much sense with her.
The
Fuck.
the chess set and
Oh my god, she would have
the
gotten me
signed
so much
copy of
cool
Ender's
shit
Game.
for my birthday.
She got me 3 dragon eggs. Yeah, those are in the garage. From Game of Thrones.
Oh man. If she was here at my 40th birthday, she would have fucking took the reins on that.
I would have went upstairs. I'd have just gone upstairs and just fucking laid down.
It would be me too. I'm probably like, it's so crazy down
I'd love to see her and
Oh my god.
you know who I'm talking about.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Them talking in the same. Never mind. I don't want to see that. That wouldn't be a good idea.
That.
Reverse it back.
Yeah, I don't know if they fight the first night or not. Like bare knuckles backyard style. Like what? Like, oh. Like, both of them have like the ability to like, oh, their horns are locked, fellas. Their horns are locked. Get them. These girls are locking up. Some bitch, get them.
I know, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'd be like, am I supposed to hit him?
Is it?
What do I do here? I don't
Is-
want to go to jail.
Does it count if I hit them both? Right? Is that not feminist? Like fucking.
They're both crazy. I don't. Tranquilizer. Where's the taser?
Oh, they're getting away. Oh, shit.
I honestly, I wouldn't be able to stop Chels.
Like one ran south, one ran north. We'll go after the one heading north.
Chels made me back down
Six will be back here in a minute.
every time. She would look at me and be like, "Get the fuck out of my way." Well,
Yes, ma'am.
what are we gonna do now? All right, babe.
That's folks couldn't even comprehend that too with her. I'm like, I don't understand that. And it's like, you've seen him, right? And they're like, that doesn't work on her. And I'm like, what? Like something else does, but like, yeah, she likes it.
I mean, yeah.
Like, you can get fussy. Like, that's not the response.
She did not care. I'd get fussy and she wouldn't even flinch. Not even a.
She for sure could have worked for the Weather Channel doing hurricane reporting, just standing there, not giving a fuck.
Yeah, and looking beautiful while she was doing it. Right?
All right, roll it. Nope, turn it off real quick. All right, now roll it. You're like, man, this is the Weather Channel.
Come on.
All right, reporting from Miami.
She also say, "Don't tell me my business." All right, bro. Yes, ma'am.
Like, I see why you do this hurricane shit. Shut up. Okay. I mean, Miami shut down for the
She's
month.
like, I already dominated you last night.
You're like, oh, is that what the fuck that was?
Don't tell anyone that.
I thought for sure it was just that Coney we went to. But no, you fucked me, huh?
She's definitely giving me bruises and she fought hard. She fought really fucking hard.
Mhm.
You know, Matt was talking about that shit tonight. How hard you have to fight.
Yeah.
How it sucks every fucking day.
Yes. think. You're like, do I get a break at any point? Nope. And then you know what I've been thinking about too? These folks out here who are like, well, I've never. Like, either they're just steeped in hell and unaware of the fact that they're sitting in it right now, or nope, that's it. Like, yeah, you're in denial, motherfucker.
I mean,
like,
I can give a college boy try at this. I remember when I went to combat school right after joining. We didn't have any of the gear we were supposed to have. Everyone was just getting done with like their rotations.
mhm.
We didn't know what we were doing. I almost want to cover the microphone before I say that. The people that went to Iraq first, they were not equipped. They did not have up-armored vehicles. They did not have communications equipment.
No.
It was.
I don't know how the fuck we managed the first Desert Storm attack here. Well, I don't even think we did. No, the Humvees we had in first Desert Storm, right? Because they were designed for that
Same, yeah.
to get rid of.
Yes.
Because we got rid of the Jeep like that year.
So we didn't know IEDs back then, but
Right.
that's what really changed the game. I guess what I'm
I don't know
trying
why
to
we didn't consider it either. Because like Northern Ireland, that's all they did. And like that's the insurgents' weapon. Like North Africa, Middle East, like the insurgents' weapon is always going to be small, inexpensive explosives. Because they don't have the budget for the good shit.
So, when we went to combat school, I had this realization that if we don't go to war every once in a while, we're not gonna have people who know what war is. So, it's been almost 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like everyone is forgetting, and now we're just cycling back up.
I wonder if that's how we end up in wars, is just enough of us get killed off that, like, could remind people, like, hey, fellas, that was dumb last time.
Yeah, they try to kill us immediately after we get done.
Oh my god, yeah. That was the first thing, dude. I was just in the Air Guard, and, like, immediately they're like, hey, try this heroin real quick for your unrelated symptoms. I was like, okay.
Well, they try to put me on so many fucking drugs. I
mean, it was the best diet
and
heroin
for
ever.
being at least as intelligent as I am,
Mm-hmm.
to see all the different drugs that they were giving me and reading up on them.
Yeah. Also, you can be as
Also,
smart as
this-
you want, but if you're fucked up, that's your intelligence is not like intelligence is all the lights on in the building at once kind of thing. Like that is your total intelligence. And then drugs are going to prevent you from turning on some lights or accessing some lights or turning off certain lights or
But
blah
it
blah
has
blah blah blah.
to be the right switch.
Yes. And like that's why like I had to get my hormones right
Yes.
so that I could actually control my switches and be able to like turn off the switches I want to
That's
instead
right.
of like, oh, I turn off the kitchen but the bathroom does and I'm fucking mad every time.
That was
like
that place in Hawaii. You had to like flick a switch here and do this thing, and like this one has to go sideways, right? And then you pee on the fucking ground, and like the rest of the lights turn on.
oh, this is nice. It's a
It-
DIY solution. It's pretty cheap.
Weird shit. Sometimes we have to do, but the point is to get all the lights on.
Yeah. 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 And then because like that's, I mean, really, that's kind of what it is. Is we get into this practice of learning to like imagine a person who's had a traumatic accident and they have to learn to walk again, and you're like, well, what the fuck does that mean? And then it's exactly what they said,
Seen my mom do it
right?
twice.
And it's a thing, and like we have to do that too, where we have to learn how to. We mean to say yes and we say no. We mean to be happy but we cry. We mean like even shit like that has to get reset because our wires got passed, and so we're gonna be like, yeah, but like it's not gonna like. I meant to be happy, but it didn't fire. I don't know why. I'm just kind of dead over here, and then I'm just gonna do these drugs.
You know,
Speaking of,
my son had a stroke at birth. Part of his brain died on the left side. Jeremy, the one I sent you a picture of earlier, and his pediatric neurologist sat down with us. He ended up being one of the best in the country. Very fortunate.
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Aquari. Very good at what he did. Also Iraqi.
Hell yeah. A
Uh,
lot of Iraqi doctors up here, which thank God, babies. Because we need doctors, so fucking A, I'll take them.
you know, how lots of fucking irony there.
Yeah. Dude, that's got to be kind of wild, too, for some of these fellows to be working at, like, the VA hospital, and they're like, could you maybe slide me elsewhere? Like, Children's Hospital, somebody I could fucking empathize with a little bit easier?
Yeah, he whipped it on, but one thing he explained to me, sat me down. He wanted to go over what everything meant. Son had a stroke. This is what's happening. Part of his brain died. I watched my son a child's mind is actually still malleable at the infant stage. So even though part of his brain died in one part, it just remapped to another part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because it was still receiving the data and it was still getting the requests from the rest of the. So, like, it's like, fuck it, we'll just do it over here now. And, like, it'll remap. It's so
fucking
cool to see.
amazing.
It's the weirdest.
Fucking amazing. You saw it. You saw
Yeah.
him today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. You know, they told me he would never walk correctly or be able to use his left side. I think it was left.
Because it was a right side injury, or because
It
it's
was
like
the part of the brain that it hit.
oh, because it's usually brain.
It was the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever side. It was left.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is-
we didn't think he was going to be able to use any of that.
Does he
anymore.
have any difficulty with analytical shit at all? Like any kind of dyslexia or. Because right side is sort of. Am I right in assuming that's the one that gets the analytical sort of. Like to assume one hemisphere does one thing and the other seems to be a bit naive. But it does seem like there's definitely a workload imbalance. Because that's like so awesome. Because as long as the bridge is not busted, the two hemispheres can like
treat each other like partitions in a hard drive.
It was amazing to actually see it in person.
Corpus callosum, that part. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Thank God too, right? That's gonna be like a relief every moment. Like you're like, oh, thank. Okay, baby.
I mean, the one thing you worry about the most when you have kids is when they come out. Is there going to be something wrong? Where are they going to be okay?
Yeah.
And all three of my kids they all had issues when they were born.
You know what's interesting too, because I think that's why some of the trans issue is so wild for parents, because it's not a thing. Like, I think we're going to get to the point where
I
we
can
can
see where you're going.
predict it,
I
but
know
like,
where you're going with this.
because it's a 5 years out thing. It's a not at birth thing. It's a birth defect, kinda, but like you're not gonna know until 5-6 years out, and then even still, like, don't rush nothing. Just everybody take your, like, all right. Also, don't be like, hey, you're making it, like, just go, yeah, dresses, what kind? Cool, all right. Like, just write it out. But like,
You don't ever want anything to be, and I say this, I'll tread carefully here. You don't ever want anything to be a problem with your kid.
right, and you don't want them to get their ass beat more, and it's also coming, or
Correct.
already coming.
Well, I mean, that was why I cried when they told me I was having Hannah. The only thing I think about is the amount of sexual assault I've seen,
Yeah.
throughout my time.
Well, it's what my mom said too. When and
She did say that, yeah.
and
Said that to me too.
that's so, like, if we were gonna write a Disney movie about why I'm trans, because they tested me as female all the way up until the last ass minute, and if you were gonna Disney ass fiction a reason, it could be that fear of like, oh, thank God. But like that was a salvation for her too, of not having to raise, you know, two daughter-looking things. We can go that route with it. Cause fuck me, people were I still got raped, and like my brother has not had a great time in the romance department either. Like, so even with wieners, we still fucking ran the gamut. Like it is.
Well, wieners don't, mean
No, they
don't
don't.
mean a fucking thing.
Sorry, fellas. It's the motion of the ocean.
Chelsea did not have a fucking wiener, and
She will fuck you all to death.
that's yes. Yes, she will. Even from death.
She'll time travel. You'll just have a memory like 5 minutes from now of like, oh my God, I remember she beat my ass back in 1994.
I'll grow a vagina and fuck you for her.
I'm on top.
We'll have to put that in the one-liner category.
I'm gonna get bottom surgery and revenge fuck people for Chelsea.
Don't worry, I'm not doing anal still.
Yeah, come on.
Sons of
I've got
bitches.
some class. I chopped it off.
I'll
Check it out.
I'll scissor kick the fuck out of anyone though.
Now get over here and mush your thing against mine. Chop.
Rub it together now if we'll make a fire.
I had a chaplain one time, everyone's favorite chaplain, and he used to, for the longest time, he was a senior enlisted in the Air Force, And so he had a lot of great jokes from being a senior enlisted fellow in the Air Force. And he didn't get to tell them all the time as a chaplain. And so every now and again, he'd tell me. And there was this formation of females running by. And he goes, "Slow down, girls." And then to me, he goes, "You might start a bushfire." And it took me too long because I was a young, naive, half homo. But, like, then I was like, bushfire. And then I was also like, they shave now, Pops. They haven't had bushes in 15 years.
I can't believe Chelsea shaved at SAR Academy.
Dude, this... like...
In a creek!
In the old days, before barracks,
In a creek.
before the lake, like, in that black water nasty creek with, like, Stand By Me leeches and all kinds of shit in it.
I'm sorry. Liam, I hope you never watch this fucking video. Buddy, know your mom was a fucking champion if you do.
Oh my god. Dude. So many people jealous of that young lady. Because they'd be like, what the fuck? Alright. Alright.
She shut everyone up. She went gangster so many fucking times. I was like, Chels.
She could even get me. I'm like, well, I'm listening.
I'm like, I'm a Marine. I've been to war. You talk more crazy than I fucking do.
Yeah, dude. She will climb upside you and fucking just turn into a problem. You're like, ah.
Don't worry, I climbed up inside her. And I got my legs in. Don't worry. I thought about his name is what? Leslie. The dude from Ted Lasso, the one who's in the Jazz.
oh, fuck. Yeah. What is his goddamn name? Who's like way into it, like,
Yes.
cause that one
Flew
guy,
down to New Orleans.
he's like, are we cheating on our wives or whatever?
It was the Netherlands.
It wasn't the Netherlands.
Amsterdam's.
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
it was the like Chet. Was it the Chet Baker Club or no?
Chet Baker. Yes. Yes.
Because he liked the drummer. Was Chet Baker a drummer? No, Chet Baker was trumpet.
Yes.
Or no. God damn it, I have a Chet Baker singing too. Now I have to look.
They were the bass.
Do you play everything? I know the guy, he liked to play bass, right? The character? Is that what he played?
Well, I figured he got into jazz because he was down with that.
Chet Baker was a singer and a trumpeter.
Trumpeter, alright. Well, that makes sense that,
Jesus, he looked rough when he got old.
he
He
was a
was-
heroin addict.
Gorgeous when he was young.
Drugs are bad.
Well, yeah. And then he's right in that era too. He's one of them beats. Dude, I'm glad I've gone through my hippie phase, but now I am so blown away that I'm a beat. Like, all this, like, reading Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg, and I'm like, yeah, these guys get it. And Burroughs and any of it. And then my own work now is very, like, in that same kind of just descriptive, push, move, fuck, skip the parts you can skip, tell the parts you gotta tell.
Yeah, a lot of people ask these days, what do you think you're saying right now? Where, you're not this, you're not that. I was like, no, I am not any of those TV shows. I'm the one that they're writing stories about
Yeah.
right now. We are there. Like, we are the people that they're And then Jenny said this, and weird shit like started to fucking happen, and then they bombed us.
And strangely enough, I used to be like, oh, no, but, and like, oh, like, I've had that come to bite my ass. Like, I need to take the responsibility of that shit. They're like, oh, fuck, I get hurt from time to time. And people are responsive to that. And they're like, oh, I like it, or oh, I don't. And however, but like, we're not just farting, in our own sheets here.
I mean, we do that.
Well, that happens as well. But, like, yeah, people here. And it's only like
I mean,
fuckheads
we
who get
actually
bummed
do
out.
fart in our sheets.
Super frequently.
In a literal sense.
I've been very gassy, really. It's very not, ladylike.
Yeah, alcohol does not do well for that.
Yeah, and you guys have that weird sugary flavored shit going on.
My toe is still broken.
Somebody was like, you should tell him to stop drinking. I'm like, yeah, he knows, assholes. I'm like, what was the other thing that I said too? I'm like, but in order for them to quit, they do need to be drinking. Which I still believe
I'm
that.
interested to know who actually said that.
Well, I did corrective action in time. It was Cito. And I was like, oh, trust me. That's been covered. He's like, okay. And then, it was that quick, though, too. It was like, he's like, okay, just making sure. I don't want to be the one to, find out we didn't bring that option up. And I'm like, yeah, no.
Doesn't say anything else to his other buddy.
He has. He's actually pretty consistent with him on the Waterford channel. Because he's like, hey, you're going to die doing that. And he's
Why
like,
didn't you say it to me?
I don't know.
Like,
I think maybe they need to have more time invested. Or, that comfort level. It's that sort of civilian-y. They're
what, am I, too scary to approach?
No.
They can go to Jenny.
See, that I start to wonder about. Because, I wonder if people, forget that,
They're playing the mommy-daddy game.
And they forget that, mommy's a serial killer. No, I'm not. But,
Both of us are.
uh-huh.
Not for real. It's not for real.
Yeah.
Jesus. Fucking. I have to say that because you people get fucking.
But we both do watch Dexter just to critique it. We're like, you know what?
Dexter did it well.
Sloppy. He did.
Barry?
Dexter did quite well.
Barry makes my balls tingle.
Barry is also an excellent,
NoHo Hank is actually. I'll take him over Barry.
I might do NoHo Hank. That might just be my new move. If I can't, all the way femme out, I'll just fucking halfway it. Be Professor X with an E. Did I tell you you're evil enough? No, you're so evil, Barry. Barry, you're the evilest guy I know.
Did I not tell you enough? I love the flair. I love the flair of just the way he delivers it.
He knows how to throw a dinner party.
Do you guys want some sandwiches?
That's me. I'm like, drugs?
We're going
Sandwiches?
to Dave and Buster's today. We're going to have a good time.
And then we're going to the gun range. And then we're gonna do the smash mop, and then we're gonna go get some steaks.
what was the dude's name? The
God.
dude he worked for before.
Oh, fucking goddamn. Boris? No. Was it something?
Close.
Um.
Goron.
Goron. I think I've done in the past, if you'd like, as I could stab him in the balls. Why would you do that?
Shooting someone worse. I mean, it hurts really bad.
I just heard that might be a thing you're interested in.
Did you guys not want me to? And no,
My granddaddy
No
stabbed
Ho
so
is
many
actually,
fellas in the
like,
balls.
playing the video of the dude fucking.
Yeah. And he's like, you can turn it up.
I was just trying to show him. That's kind of crazy we are.
My granddaddy stabbed so many dudes in the balls. That's a fun story. And it's also weird
Real.
because we talked about too, like, a lot of my personal heroes have been Marines. And a lot of the people I feel the absolute safest around have dispatched other human beings. Like my granddaddy, other, like, people who have done it and have, like, they're not cool with it. Like, not in the. It wasn't. My granddaddy never led with that. Somebody else had to tell me what the fuck happened to him. Somebody else had to tell me what he went through. You had to read about it. You're like, geez, us. That big, goofy, tall fella who I like so much had split all those little Japanese fellas right in half, goddamn near. Like, he cut him in their femoral artery, which is right next to the junk.
Right here.
Yeah, he was crawling his way down the beach to get back. They got overran. He had to make their way back, and then he was.
It's funny what we remember, like right off, like when you say something like that, and I think about the combat technique.
Yeah.
About saying like, yeah, if I know if I go on the inside of your thigh right here.
My granddad did it with a K-bar. I can't remember if it was Guadalcanal or Iwo Jima, but it was one of them. He was at both having a shit time.
Yeah, Chelsea got Calabra tattooed right there.
Liam, be glad it's covered up. With the bottle in that
I mean,
case.
it's not really a secret. She made it well known to everyone when she did it. She did it as like an act of defiance anyway.
Everything she did.
She got Calabra.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
She, right here,
Even what's his face?
by her femoral. She was still in Guam when she got it. That's
Which means
gangster shit right there.
She is married to another fella at the time.
We were both married.
She's like, okay, I'm getting out of here.
She was like, I'd rather sign his name next to my vagina. Chels, you're gonna get his boat buried. Lady, you gotta calm down sometimes.
Mm-mm. Hell no.
I gave Matt one of my dog tags today.
No. thinking about that pin.
I saw that on the book.
I've got like 4 of them too. Plus the birds on there, it's cool. The McCoys, the Irish McCoys. We had, well, I think pretty much all the McCoys are Irish, but like my clan in particular, our heraldry was these things called martlets, a stack of these birds that don't have feet. And that's the truest shit ever, because anybody who's got McCoy in them just ends up wandering. The whole globe is your fucking place.
Do you know why I gave him that? I mean, I could have given him anything. I'm not gay for saying this.
No.
Of course I'm gay, by the way. Only when I want to.
It's the power of what's that called? Self control?
It's whatever you want.
Yeah. It's being fun at parties is what it's called.
Correct. I want to make out with a fucking dude, I will. Yes.
This is definitely not my angle.
Stop judging yourself.
I know. Dysmorphia is true. It's a real thing, gang. And if you feed into it, you will just listen to the part of your head that says you look like a blobby gorilla.
Rowdy, who plays Zeus, is an incredible, incredible actor. I don't know where
Nope.
he studied, but
Nope.
Oh my god, me fucking with the microphone is louder than me talking. Sorry. We had 3 views, 0 concurrent views, 0 chat rate. Love it. I bet you 3 of those views were us. Which makes sense. It's 2 in the fucking morning. I like that this is how our show works though. Like,
Don't get on there later. I'm not worried about that.
What up? Welcome to the living room. How long have we been on with this one?
How long?
Yeah. It's 2 right now. Holy Christ. Have we been doing 2 hours?
Yeah. We go crazy when we want to.
Yeah.
Get to this fucking scene. It's not the scene that I want. I always concentrate on scenes that don't matter. Anyway, the lucky one. Nicholas Sparks.
Oh, I haven't seen any of those. That was right in my weird, like, black spot of pop culture. When I was going through, like, boot and tech and, like, I just wasn't paying attention to anything for a year or 2.
So,
Or did you have me watch that with you?
it was one with,
Yeah. The one guy survived his unit, and then he came to tell the guy's sister, but he like couldn't. Is that what it was? Is the reason why?
yes,
And he was like,
yep, that was the one.
I don't want to be the one bearer of bad news, but
Well, he wasn't actually bringing her bad news. He was there the day he died.
right.
And he found her picture.
And then that's where the like sort of like creepy thing came in, cause he like, yeah, cause that was hilarious. Like that was the tension point, was that because he didn't mention it soon enough, it just became kind of creepy. And like, oh, we can get over this pretty quick.
What are you supposed to say in that moment?
Right.
But there was a scene in the video, in the movie.
Yeah.
He was talking to her son. He gave him the other part of his dog tag, and he said, "Brothers never leave each other." And he's like, "You take this." He's like, "I have one for my best friend right here." That's why I gave him that tonight. He had it on his knuckles today when he was up there taking shots. He didn't see it.
Oh. Good. Yeah.
It was just to let him know I'm never gonna leave him.
It does suck being thrown out like that.
You know, I might not be able to go to Texas. Probably gonna have to just abandon that.
Don't look at the screen, cause you'll see me like smiling.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. Like, I'll go with you.
Let me get the weed.
Like, we're so close. You go next week. 3 weeks from now. They're like, can we, how about right this second? Like, ooh. I see the appeal in it. It's just me on that one, too. Holy shit. If you're like, there's a thing for you to paint in New Orleans for 6 months, I'm like, I'll see you guys.
I know, I would drag my dick all the way down to Texas on the way.
That would be. I don't. You know what? Like, if I had a thing where somebody was like, "Oh, we heard something, and blah blah blah, we'll give you a spot on Decatur for 6 months right now." I don't think I'd take it unless I could take everybody from the league, and we go, "Listen, we're just gonna do it in New Orleans for a year, guys. Fucking real world."
We had so many power players here now.
I don't even think I need to go to New Orleans anymore for. Need is the wrong word. I love it there so much. That place is.
I want a vacation to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I
I want to get some shrimp in me.
want beignets. I want a fucking shrimp po' boy.
Mm-hmm. I want to go to Cafe Envy. Don't you ever let that close.
Just shrimp from the coast.
Yeah, if you're ever down that way, just drive up and down the coast. There will be people with garbage bags full of seafood that you could buy for like weirdly cheap. Get it. Because that's where the fuck the grocery stores get it from. These same fellas. Just grab it. Get it, get it, get it.
And eat it all.
And rinse it off, I
By the way,
guess. You know, whatever. You're going to boil it, fucking.
If you're gonna do crawdads, cook them.
Oh, cook the shit out of them. Find, if you want to find, oh, what was, I one time we were doing a shrimp cocktail at Selfridge, and they bought raw shrimp, and I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" All right, so I gotta cook the shrimp, and they're like, "Well, you don't have to." I'm like, let's put it this way: Chef Jenny's gonna cook the shrimp, and like I wasn't about to let them fuck it up. Oh, I made a court bouillon. I was halfway telling the story, trying to find that word. A court bouillon,
Oh shit.
which is like a lemon juice and like it's almost
I love bouillon. Am I saying it right? Is it bouillon or is it bouillon?
probably both. Probably like the French way is probably with the light L's, where it's like a bouillon, and then
That's probably right.
in English we fucking torch it and call it bouillon. Yeah, and then because like bouillon, like beef bouillon, is almost more like a consomme kind of thing, and so like a court bouillon
Yep.
is you're making a stock, like a flavorful liquid, out of herbs and spices, and you get bay leaves in there and lemon juice and all kinds of shit, and then basically it's like a crawdad boil, and that's what I did the shrimp in for the cocktails, and the people were psyched. Like their little faces lit the fuck up. They're like, "Oh my god!" And I was like,
Shrimp is
"Yeah,
so
right,
Fucking good.
dude. It's really kind of perfect for feeding a ton of people, especially when you can get it like up here. It's pricey.
Not in this case, because if you put that shit, you put a shrimp. What the fuck is it? I don't want to say a shrimp cocktail. Is that right?
Where it's just the cocktail sauce and the 6 little shrimps and like a glass kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that's shrimp cocktail.
Okay. You put that shit out, I will eat all of it. I will eat everyone's fucking serving.
Yeah.
I will keep going.
Oh, and there's people who like try to zhuzh it up and do different kinds of, but it's same thing. And then the better one is you do that with court bouillon, or you do like crawdad boil, kind of like you can even buy crawdad boil. They have shrimp boil too. You can get that, but like treat yourself.
We did do they cook a big pot of shit. What is it called?
It depends. Usually it's just called a boil. And then
Then they throw it on the table.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's like the sort of low country version. There's the low country boil, which is like South Carolina and North Georgia, where there's lots of like crabs and all kinds of shit in there mixed in. And then you'll get crawdad and shrimp boils, and you'll get crab boils in New Orleans a bit, but I think they're way more famous for their shrimp and crawdads.
What? I gotta think of her name real quick. She's one of Chelsea's best friends.
So it's definitely not Paula Dean. I miss Paula Dean, that poor
It
bitch.
was Mick something. Mick.
McNerney?
No.
Mickleberry.
No.
Nope, I'm not gonna be helpful.
Light Colonel.
Clary.
Closer.
Clory. McClory?
No. I fucked her. But, not that one.
We just can't have nice things.
Sorry, we can't have nice stuff. I mean, we can just delete it after we're done.
It's the clad crest.
For saving?
The McCoys. For the fighting McCoys.
You feisty son of a bitch.
We have tons of those. We don't have any Saley ones.
That's actually sweet. I'm gonna hide this. Give that to him. Kid's about to lose his mind already.
But that's how, I mean, the history of that clan is fucking wild. Like, there's that whole feud business, and they stole my pig and shot my brother, and they shot the brother first. Pig came later. But, like, you go all the way back, and it's just this weird heritage of, like, us. Just people like us, and they're like, well, landlord's out of the option for you, and we can't send you to college. And this is, Ireland 700 years ago. And they're like, do you guys want to join the army, maybe? And fucking
you can
do
go
that?
to jail, or you can do this.
Either way, you're drinking.
This is the option, Eddie. Is this what we call the American dream?
Uh-huh. For the Irish. And we're not even like full on Irish. You get some real deal Irish and they're like, shut your fucking plastic ass. And we're like, I know.
70% Irish.
I'm 100% somehow. And I still have Danish blood. I don't even understand how that works. I think it's all fake, the science. No.
There's just too many people coming all over the place.
Dude, just busting. Like,
No,
I've
that
got-
was my family. I saw some of it was like over in the Baltic.
oh shit.
Like someone got a Russian whore.
We had like 90% Ireland and then a little bit of Denmark. And my grandpa's from Denmark. Like, that's how fucking micked we are. It's like, he's from there, and it barely made a dent on our fucking genealogy.
I don't know where I got my name from. Hodge is not Scottish or Irish. It's English.
Yeah, so it might be Scottish then.
It's lower part of England.
Right. Which has been, like, Sutherland and that whole area gets back and forth all the time between Scotland and England.
I mean, yeah, it could have been during fighting times.
Because, like, York is technically part of England, I think. I don't know if technically is the right word for anything over there, but, like, I don't think York is part of Scotland.
Is Hodge Scottish?
Let's see what the old internet says. We'll go to etymology. Etymology, etymology. If you're looking up what words mean, just type that and then etymology. It is meaning son of Roger. Oh, interesting.
Roger.
It was made popular as a medieval nickname. Is this complete horseshit? What is this? British and Irish, origin German. Oh, that's saying is a first name. That's a first name for some people? Poor things. As a surname means famous spear. What the fuck? So how does that mean
Robert, son of Robert's a first name, or famous spear. These people need to pull their heads out of their ass. Hodge. Clan. Including English, Irish, and German. English from.
Yeah, that's right.
So if it comes from the Irish Gaelic, so like McCoy is actually spelled in the way back times like Macaid. You're like, holy
Yep.
fuck, fellas. So in an Irish version, Macaj, which gets you there, the word Aj from that means healing, which is interesting. The German one is just famous spear, which is fun. And then the English one, yeah, the English one's like some Cockney bullshit. Yeah, so it would really make more sense in either the German or Irish context, because the English sort of origin of it as a nickname from the Middle Period, as a rhyming name of the name Roger. Yeah, so it's just Cockney bullshit. Not that I don't appreciate the Cockneys, but their bullshit is fucking hard to track sometimes. Hodge surname English, Norfolk, and Suffolk. That makes sense. See, that doesn't make sense now. Trying to track it back to a character from Canterbury Tales. You're not gonna name your whole family after, like, that's ridiculous. I hope that's ridiculous. If just way back when your ancestor really liked a book, he's like, we're gonna name ourselves after that guy. And you go, Tommy, we can't name ourselves after the guy from the book. They're not gonna know in like 100 years. Here we go. Irish. Is it Scottish or Irish? Most commonly observed is British and Irish. So it could be like also that like Cornish kind of, not Cornish, Cornish is the south, but like that Britanno-Celtic, which could be part of why it's not being, because the Romano Celts, they had the money because they're like, oh, we see how the winds are going, and then they, you know, they were still themselves, but it was basically a matter of like, were you doing the Amish thing or were you doing the like modern thing? And that was the Roman thing versus the traditional back home way. Kinda. It's a very sort of unfair comparison, but Rome was weird. Like Rome was a civilizing force, but it was also a subscription service.
It really was. It was a well-sold product
Yeah.
at the time.
And like if you bought into it, you got the whole kit. That's why everybody had all the shit who had the kit, because they bought into the kit.
I do have to pee.
Okay. And they're like,
So,
well, they had baths and
dance and sing for everyone.
dee dee dee. What, you guys want to see my tits? Yeah. I mean, I got them. I might as well do something. Look, I'll show you one. What do you think? Oh, I'm gonna have to pee soon too. Into this bottle. On camera. No, we're not doing that. Anymore. Like and subscribe. What's the other? I won't say any of it. I won't insult your intelligence. If you've made it this far, whatever your level of commitment is, I won't question it. How dare I ask you to like or subscribe any goddamn thing? You're sitting here all the way going like, "Oh, do I fucking feel like it?" Although I am such a modern creature of programming every now and again where they'll say it and I'm like, I'm gonna hit the thing.
How many people have Flash?
Who? Just one. I only showed one. Or, well, that doesn't count. That's not how it works. However many people watched, but I only showed one boob, so. And I mean, I'm sort of like at an early stage with everything. I have the facial hair and boobs of a 13-year-old boy right now. And girl. Kind of mix and match. Though I'm still 6 foot goddamn tall. Which, weirdly, like, that was just like a secret problem for me. Where I was like, you guys are okay with me being this big? And everyone's like, yes. That is a purely absurd question. And I'm like, okay.
You see, most people, the ones who matter, don't see it. The ones who matter don't see it.
Yeah.
That's, I guess that's all that matters there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the ones who've been fixated on it recently, or
Willis and Kyle, Cito, Schultz, Orly.
maybe this is the word of it. Like the few, because it is few now. Like, but the few who come after me,
Yeah, it did become few real quick.
yeah,
But also, like, seeing the herd thin out, it wasn't as small as I thought. I didn't know there was that many there.
yeah,
Yeah, there's fucking, 8 million fucking sheep to the left. There's a good fucking pack over here.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I can see it. They all stand by each other. I mean, how many times do we tell each other we love each other on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Where it's, how many times do you think Matt said that to anyone? I mean, seriously. The respect and honor he gives us, we probably do not deserve it.
Definitely don't want to fuck it up. That's like a persistent, like, I've been better about staying good to myself, but I have shit motivation for it. Like, I don't really have a real reason to, like, give a fuck about me. But if I need me to do things for other people, then I will. That's kind of the impasse we're at. Is like, I'd like to be useful to some people. So, I keep myself useful. Like, that's, or at least as much as I can, and
That's what I tell people all the time. Like, I can't be useful every fucking day. People want us to go Mach 10
yeah.
every day. I'm like, I've been doing that for years now.
Yeah.
Years.
We
I've
used to
been
be
going.
chef's knives, but regrettably, we may be the poop knives now. I just learned about that. And Jesus Christ, people.
We're just a dull knife. Is
Yeah.
that what a poop knife is?
Yeah.
All right.
And then, like, instead of, so I guess this is apparently a thing. Instead of having a toilet plunger, there are people out there who have been instructed that what you do is get a butter knife you no longer have plans on using again, and you go in and manually dice your shit up, and then see if that does the trick. Yeah. These people don't have parents, dude. I swear to God, it's Lord of the Flies out here. It's insanity.
It's Lord of the Flies now, yeah.
It's so crazy. I talked to my own parents, and they're like, "Wait a minute, that was the thing we were supposed to do?" Oh, yeah.
We're talking to parents like we're the parents. I'm talking to adults like they're kids.
Oh my God, all the time. Hey, no, you, no. What did you put? Get that out of your mouth.
I know, I got fucking Matt, he's younger than most people, coming up, like, his dick just rides on the fucking ground.
Dude, it's like our cadets all the time too. That same, like, we get the ones who are the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and they see it, and they're like, "Okay, I see what you're saying, Sarge." And then they get out there in the real world with us, and they're like, "Hang on a sec. You guys are grown-ups, right?" And we're like, "Uh-huh." "And you guys are pretty cool." And we're like, "Yeah." And they go, "What the fuck is that one's deal?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, that one. Somebody told them they were a grown-up."
Right.
Ignore them. There are so many adults who, like, the best advice we can give kids that we sort of supervised and trained and taught in various different, like, hanging out times, we'd be like, just ignore that one, because they're gonna say wild shit all the time, mostly to try and impress you, because their wife hates them. So, and they're like, "Oh, that makes sense," because we've taught them like psychology and philosophy and like basic how to like use the human being as a weapon system. And so they're like, "That makes sense. I bet they don't talk to each other, and he probably tries to use his time talking to us as a way of sort of like getting his day out." And that's sad. Like, these kids are like aggressively matured, and then the senior member's like, "What's this faggot's problem?" And you're like, "Get out of here. Get out of here, you goofball."
Think about that sometimes, and I look back and I'm like, you had a problem one day. All the people who have said that to me, like, you were there. Don't think I forgot. I fucking remember most things. That's why Gus calls me the fucking historian. I don't know why I remember so many fucking things. Probably a math thing.
Yeah, you're good with that shit. I'm weird at stories. So, like, I'm good at, like, oh, this and that, and, like, causalities and things.
No, I just remember details about like what people did and what I thought about it after. It was like it's almost like I have like an after actions review board in my head all the time.
Yeah. I've got that, a weird sort of, like, side effect of having complex PTSD as a kid is it seems to have utilized certain functions of that as part of, like, how I store memories. Not all of them, but, like, that sort of raw file shit. So, like, some of the stuff, if I want to have, like, real good ass recall with it, it may not be up to me, and it may be a matter of, like, needing a sort of like flashback level. But I don't know. Like, I'm trying to get better with it, because
I have to do that too.
dude, it's wild.
I can't reach it all the time.
And there's no, like, good language for it, because it's like, clearly I'm not, like, putting a thing into my head and wiggling but they're like navigating your own mind doesn't come with words yet, and at least none that are any fucking use.
Yeah. Sometimes, when I want to remember something, I have to be sober. But to get to the situation where I wanted to remember something
Mm-hmm.
requires to be drunk. So it's like a pendulum, always going back and forth of like, where is the answer?
Yeah. Cause that's the thing too with folks. Cause like, well, why do they keep going back to that well? And it's like, well, it's not cause it's fun. Trust me there. Like that's me with it's, cause you left your keys there, goddammit, and they're trying to get the fuck out. Like there is this thing of like we do go back to these wells because there is something there, and like
What I was telling your parents. I told your mom that when she called me and she was crying.
yeah.
I forgot we were recording for a second.
Oh yeah. Newsflash. I'm not the only complex PTSD case in the family, and we can probably leave it there until she does her very special episode.
She called me crying. I mean, I have to finish it now. Redirect me. I almost got emotional for a minute.
Yeah. No, it's she's been through a lot, and she's been um, tasked with and trained in hiding it from everyone, and not always doing a great job of it. If you sort of hindsight it, you go, I see what's going on back there. Nobody wigs out like that at Mervin's if they're not having, it's not a,
She's doing the best she can.
yes, 100%. And they do an excellent job. I think the only reason I pester them on the little things is not a thing of like I want them to say they suck or any like no. Like it's a matter of not I don't want them to look at those moments where they're not as proud and just shove it off as a like bad day or as a like whatever like there's so many layers of ownership where if like we get outside of the personal zone of
Can I? Thank you.
of like the relationships and those things like what is objectively happening is someone who's been through the ringer trying their very fucking best to explain to someone else how to maybe not end up in the ringer yourself. Like at no point was there like they were terrified the whole fucking way through and like the whole period of instruction for their life has been terror until like a few years ago when my PTSD calmed down and I'm like, whoa, hang the fuck on. Has this been like this since the 50s for you guys? And they're like, uh-huh.
Even before that.
I'm at the 1950s.
Or the 30s.
Well, yeah. My grandparents, great-grandparents, all those generations going back, all of our, like, Snake Pit George. Fucking good lord. He probably cried about that, like, how many times in front of somebody else? 3? And then however many other times just mowing the lawn on accident. Like, like my grandpa would have, all my grandpas would have shit like that. Weird,
lawn mowing incidents. You wouldn't get hurt or nothing. You just look outside and Grandpa's crying, mowing the lawn. You're like, I wouldn't like doing it either.
Grandpa was crying mowing the lawn for different reasons, but I get that now. Like, I didn't get that before,
Yeah.
but you get it now.
Yeah.
Talk about our elders, like, I'm, I'm sorry for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Mad as hell, but like I get it. These poor babies. Even talking to my grandma and grandpa, like it was Lord of the Flies. It's been that way since like the 1830s.
Yeah, I mean, I watched them fuck up. We watched them fuck up.
Oh yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
And they'd be like, "See, I did the thing," and you're like, "I gotta not do the
Well,
thing."
That's like talking about the Mark 19 when you shoot it and the deflate is off and it hits where it's not supposed to. You're like, oh shit, let me readjust that.
You're like, and we're good. Nobody was back there, right? Right.
There was definitely kids back.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
shouldn't say that.
Well, were at one point, historically speaking. But yeah. Also, if you're this far in and you are an American citizen and you're somehow getting pissed at us about that, go fuck yourself, because you guys are the ones writing the orders. So, like, fuck you, dude. They send us out there and they're like, do this stuff. And we're like,
Yeah, me on the
Fine.
Mark 19.
Right. We go to all these cool schools, learn all these cool goddamn skills, and they're like, do it to these little dusty guys. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? Have you had their food
No,
here?
Some of their safety
It's
rules
so
are
good.
fucking dog shit. They're like, there's a tracer one every 5 rounds or one every 10 rounds. And just kind of
You know.
gauge until you get on the target. I'm thinking in my fucking head,
Well, because there's
it's a 50 cal bullet for 10 rounds.
and so much of that though too is still assuming pre World War I combat. It's assuming you're going to be in a field where you're going to have, you know, just clear range of
I mean,
fire and you can boop boop and
We
see
did
your
it
thing.
on buildings.
That's
That's why they do that. Brrr.
But I mean, like the doctrine was written based on field fighting.
Yes. They actually did it from like Renaissance time. Fix and flank. That's been a tactic for fucking ever.
Since we got the things. Yeah. Yeah, dude. It
They're like,
is-
just do the thing.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. It's a useful tactic.
Yeah.
Fix and flank, yes. Jenny's gonna get their attention. I'm gonna come up and eat their fucking neck.
Makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Because we're not going to charge each other like a bunch of assholes. Then the American Civil War. You're like, fellas. We forgot.
Right?
That was an
The new
insane.
kids coming up in the ranks. They're
Dude.
all like, what's fix and flank? What's this? What's that?
I'm blown away at like how good I am at Fortnite. Just by like, I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing pretty good here.
What, battle tactics?
Cover kids.
Yeah.
Come on, keep up. They're like, I got shot. Yes, because you're standing in a field.
Don't
Move
worry.
your ass.
You'll reset and there'll be another game in 10 minutes. Shut the fuck up. We're fine.
See, that's the problem with these fucking
the evangelical types, they had their kids convinced that like they'll just get like popped into a lobby and it's like no, fuck you guys. So hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if all time exists in here, then all eternity exists in the current space and time. So I'm just saying, like, you're here. You're already in eternity.
That was signed nicely.
Like,
I like it.
it's there.
If you said that to most people from Waterford, their head would explode.
And I went to the same school as those people.
Yeah, see,
That's what baffles me. Like, the fucking balls on some of those assholes to claim they could be surprised by some of this shit. Where it's like, dude, that was like third period. Yeah, but I was busy sleeping or blah blah blah, or like, hey, like, I'm sorry I understood the fucking mission in school. Like, I didn't like it either. I think that's the thing people mistook with me. Like, you are smart. And it's like, no, I was told this is your fucking job.
where
like-
did we stop saying it was not okay to say sorry? Or it was not okay to be respectful or to not bully people? You know, all these things. I don't know where we got to that point.
It's gotten weird because it went like because it's also being done as simultaneously in the name of preventing that shit. Because like I think bullies are way more powerful than they've ever been now.
It's for what reasons are they giving?
Well, and it's funny too because they're not even.
It's all horseshit reasons.
Well, it's all the same thing. It's all control, like personal control, so that somebody else doesn't have to like adjust to a new situation. But like it used to be bullies in the '90s, like hey queer, hey fag, and now bullies in this period are sort of using puritanical language to put themselves in, doing the exact same thing of being in the moral high ground above another person. Of like before in the '90s, you're like you fucking blah blah blah. And now that sort of version of extremism's out, you go the other route of it, and now they can be like, oh, you fucking Luddite, and you, I bet you this, and like, bitch, don't bet with money you don't have. Like, that pisses me off, these kids. I bet you this, I bet you that. Shit.
See, you know, I never want to settle the score with them. They say I bet you. Normally I'm like, all right, I really don't want to do this.
Dude, that was Jeremy's.
I beg them so fucking much. I'm like, all right, how about today? Nope. How about today?
So, one of the hallmarks of Jeremy was that he would be like dead set wrong on a thing. Just as wrong as you could be. And then that's when, of course,
His father.
betcha, I'll bet you. I'll bet you anything. I'll bet you. He's going through lists of what he'll bet, this, that, none of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then you go, Jeremy, look, 1664. And he's like, God damn. You're like, what? Stop doing that to me. To me, of all people, baby. Stop it.
I know, for the two of us actually sitting here, like as far as the military shit, we've read more references than people will ever want to get
Than
into.
actually necessary.
We remember the reference numbers.
I'm so glad I'm just now starting to forget some of them.
Me too.
And I got out in like, what, 2012? Beginning of 2012. And I'm just now forgetting like 36-2903.
Yeah, I get PTSD about like when someone says something, I'm like, Papa 1024.
Yeah, that's the 34 dash section. This
Papa
paragraph.
10111, Papa 10110. That was
I can't remember if.
the order about giving reservist hotel rooms and shit like that.
I
in
remember
Chow.
the joint pup on mortuary shit had a weird title, and it was the only one. It had a 0 in the weirdest place for me. It was joint publication JP, yeah, 5-04 I think, or no, 4 dash. It was a 4-0 something. 4-06?
What was the
4-05.
what
No,
was
it
the
is the
ma-
4-06.
What's the manual for CAP?
Which one? The Air Force one?
39 dash golf.
39-1 was the
That
uniform
okay,
manual.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think they've moved that over too. Ew, boogers. Yeah, the JPE 4-06 is the Mortuary Affairs Joint Publication. That was the Joint Doctrine, Tactics, Techniques. That was the one I had to know for receiving more than just Air Force remains. Because I wasn't going to get fucking any of those.
Oh, the fact that we have a publication about something like that.
Dude, I had to write one on mass graves for a bit. Not like a whole thing, but like a supplement.
I know we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the fact that we had to do mass graves and
Yeah. I had to fix for, like, not me, like, they were like, just you figure this out, but I was on a team of people, and one of my responsibilities was brainstorming and then researching mortuary mass casualty locations, places for like mass graves, and calling up places where they make ice cream and stuff, and be like, hey, how big's your freezer? Just no follow-up questions if you don't mind. Just how big is the freezer? How big's your fridge? Okay, can we drive a truck in there? How many trucks do you think? Think we could park them in there? Terrific, thanks, alright, bye. The base, the Air Force base. Don't ask questions. Thanks, love you. Because, like, the people who do ask questions go,
okay, thanks, bye.
yeah, I'm Sergeant Saley. I'm just with the services section. I'm getting a plan together for our contingency mortuary stuff. And they go, what? Like, as soon as people hear mortuary, they're like, what? And their brains just like Adam's Family.
Yeah, they go right to Gone in 60 Seconds when you see Sphinx for the first time.
And like Rob Zombie, all that like macabre fucking goth chick shit. And you're like, hey, somebody died. If you assholes could fucking chill out with your fashion show stuff, and we could put some ice on this kid, get him out the fucking door. Like, if
Normally what
everybody's-
they're saying is they're like, why would you touch that body? It's
so it
it's
gets moved.
dead. And now we have to do a thing.
Yeah. The longer you let it sit out, the worse this is gonna get.
Oh,
So they like.
talk about waiting.
Oh,
They let Chelsea sit in the fucking morgue for 3 weeks.
Oh, dude.
I fucking lost my mind.
Yeah. That's just not even.
I couldn't believe that.
Like, if she had died in a flood or something, maybe that makes some sense. And they're like, oh, we couldn't find her. But no, they knew right where the fuck she was.
Yeah, they put her there and then they just forgot. Just didn't care anymore.
Put it off till another day. Put it off till someone else deals with it again. You know what's interesting too is I've been
comparing and contrasting, like, my parents' generation, and like your dad's probably, was he in the 60s? Was he born in the 60s?
Yeah, 1960.
Oh, okay. So he's just a hint younger than my folks.
Yeah, my mom was 67.
Okay. And then, because I've been comparing, like, Russians who grew up in that time period, Chinese, like, just all over the world, globally. The different, and it's like, man, that whole generation got fucking, something's up.
Yeah.
Because even my grandma noticed it, too. Like, their parents' generation made note of it. And, like, now their kids' generations are like, hey, what the fuck? What's going on, guys?
I mean, they kind of got a free pass.
They did.
It was
I mean,
in between wars. Like,
Yeah. Because they're the, like, back end of the boom, so they didn't get sent to Nam.
I mean, some went to the Persian Gulf and into the thing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, their war was like going to church every Sunday.
Right. And to be called a faggot. You're like, this is not. That's what, like, makes me feel bad about some of my family and their need for the church to be right about certain things. Is like, man, what a fucking long way to go to kick yourself in the ass. Like, it's such a wild, like, well, if these guys are right, then this is true, and then if those are true, then these are true, and if that's true, then I don't have to change. And you're like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
I love the ones who are like, as long as I pray.
Yeah, as long as I pray, I can put out cigarettes on babies' backs, and no one will. You're like, whoa, dude, that's not.
I could rape as many kids as I want.
Like, come here, doing one right now. You're like, no.
What did he just say?
Yeah, the people who think Jesus is basically a coupon. You're like, no, dude. Even I, as an atheist, get kind of pissy about that.
Put your sins on.
I'll start calling people charlatans.
Just pump your sins out on Jesus. He will forgive you.
And you know what? He's coming back. So when he gets here again, we'll just nail him up to the fucking thing again, and then we'll be good. We'll just get it for twosies. You were cool this last time, right, bro? You guys are assholes.
I'm sure I've heard a lot of people say that, and then they died shortly thereafter. Not a fun scene to watch. People will be like, I believe
Yeah.
that Dave will save me.
Sure. It's like, you forget God sent everybody. God sent us to save each other. He's not gonna fucking dick around stitching together extra miracles just for you when they already put the whole fucking planet together. If that's the kind of shit you believe in anyway.
If we all got that, I mean, shit, we all win the lottery and
Yeah. All our teams would all win somehow every day.
Fuck yeah.
We're like, how did the Lions and the Packers both win? This
I
is
get
crazy.
To see my kids again.
Dude.
Fuck, we win at lotteries every fucking day.
Bing, 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 bing. Just making it rain. Yeah, man, this is the miracle, you fucking idiots. This is the prayer. God damn, that's why religious folks always bum me out. I'm like, you arrogant cunts. You sit there bitching to your own God that you invented about what a shit job they did. And it's like, as somebody who sits back and like was almost beaten to death over this principle, what? You guys are so mean to your own God. Like, look at all the cool shit they made you. And you're like, I don't like it. This is stupid. It's gonna be way better when we get to go to heaven, right, God? He's not.
You're not going with that attitude, you motherfucker.
Yeah, what hell? What happened?
Yeah. Also, like, don't tell me Dante's fanfic had you sold, baby. It's like, that's not in LB play.
I cannot believe people still believe this shit. You know, I have to be considerate because
I'm just versed in it as a survival thing.
I used to think if you joined the Marine Corps that meant you were in the infantry.
Right.
Because I was that dumb.
Well, it's a lot of people. I say I'm in the Air Force, or was in the Air Force, and they were like, "Oh, you're a pilot?" I was like, "No."
That's 5%.
Yeah.
5%.
Afraid not.
10%?
I don't even think that. Yeah, I think it's like. It's a less than. It's like a 3% kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a weird number where you're like, no shit.
The Air Force is mostly support.
Yeah, we gotta fuel those fuckers. And then fix them. Jesus Christ, fixing them. That's most. I bet you, if you go towards manpower on a military base, towards having an airplane, most of your extra manpower is going to be towards fueling, fixing, and then arming. Like all the extra shit involved. Because a pilot's not. Pilots are college kids. They're all these fucking like. They take their headphone off. They go, "Hey, Sarge, are we ready to take off yet?" And the sergeant's like, "Yes, sir. Fucking yes, it's ready. Here you go. Here's your thing. Here, get off. All right. Da da da. And they do their thing. Like, no, we're not gonna let the pilot fix the goddamn aircraft. You're gonna have an expert do that. You're gonna have a 23-year-old who's got a hangover, who's like, I got this bitch
We
good.
have some good pilots out there.
We do, but I'm not gonna let them fix their own airplanes because they're
No.
busy being pilots.
Oh, fuck no. You are correct. They show up
Yeah.
hungover every fucking day.
Pilots are ballerinas. Let them dance, let them do their thing, but they don't need to be pretending they're mechanics. And
Yeah, they're really good at fucking modern warfare.
mm-hmm. And they are dancers. They fucking wreck their little bodies up there. It's ridiculous. Like,
I saw Millie's mock test.
the like.
Yes.
You're like, whoa.
He got up pretty high.
Hell yeah. Dude, I bet you I would fucking suck at that these days. Back in the day, I probably would have ruled. But like, now I'd probably like Mach 2. Whoa. Sorry.
No, the second they started the machine, I would start having a panic attack. I'd
They
be
hit
like,
the
turn
button.
it off now.
With me, they hit the button. They're like, you can stop apologizing. I'm like, I'm sorry. And they're like, no, it does this. You
Fucking take no goddamn mock test, bitch.
I was reading through this list of sort of not inappropriate, but reactions people might have that sort of are indicative of traumatic experience, and one of them is like apologizing for shit you really shouldn't apologize for, and it like
It's terrible, right?
it is, because it's also like so presumptive.
People think it's actually justified now too. They're like, you need to say sorry.
Right. Like, wait, what? Yeah, the weird samurai thing out here. I don't know what to call it, but like there's this puritanical like honor culture, and you're like, what are you talking about, faggot? Fight me.
Yeah, I know. I say sorry, and they're like, yeah, bitch, that's what you should. See, I was being nice, and then we did a thing.
See, I got these cool crab crackers at the grocery store, and now I want to try them on your knuckles. We gotta do this.
I've broken my hand so many fucking times now.
At your feet.
And my, yeah. Yeah, that toe is still fucked.
Yeah, it's try to get away from it. Do a little bit of a twisted maneuver.
Nothing more to do about that one.
In this lighting, I can't tell if it's discolored, but it looks to be the same color as its neighbors.
It is. It's just twisted.
Have you pulled on it, like giving it a yank?
No, we're not doing that. Put me out.
Yeah, maybe have Willis come set it.
I
I'd trust him to know where it goes at least.
as long as I'm not awake for it.
Well, you don't want to
what's
do it
gonna
while you're
happen
asleep.
if someone sets my toe.
Well, what's the parameter for doing it while you're asleep?
Just put me out enough. I mean, the only thing we can ask for.
Dude, the one thing anyone who's ever like lived with Marines or been around Marines has all kind of like said and like and not even doing like ha ha ha, but like they get serious when they say it and they're like, yeah, just be careful when you wake them up, and they all go, yeah, be careful when it stops. Everyone like makes sure they go, no 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 no, they're not fucking with you here. Be careful. Yeah, it was a vehicle slowing down. Speed bumpies. I think I heard somebody's brakes. Oh no, I'm just sitting at an angle, and I'm being self-conscious, and I'm in a camera. I gotta piss.
Speaking of being abroad. Better being on cycle.
See, fellas, one terrific roommate about having a one benefit of having a trans roommate. That's what I was saying. Is you never have to put the seat down. That's kind of fine for me.
Who didn't put the seat down?
Me.
I thought Matt did it.
Or up, whichever.
Yeah, put the seat down.
I'll leave it up.
Who didn't put the seat down?
Me.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do that.
I'm so grateful. Like, once you sort of in hindsight and you zip out and you're like, okay, so that's what's going on? Interesting. All right, well, the whole girl trapped in a man's body thing, weird, I guess. Makes sense. A lot more sense now that we zip back to some other things. However, in hindsight, ladies, if you can be born a dude, there are some advantages in a shit society.
Yeah.
Besides the piss and standing up, the maintenance and cleaning is pretty fucking terrific. You just hose it off and you're out the door with it. Nobody gets too judgy on the appearances. I mean, people are very self-conscious about their own, but nowhere near to the level where girls are. And like, women, just know that everyone is impressed with yours. Everyone. Even the ones who are like, if they make any kind of face, it's just they're taking it in like a sculpture and they're like, wow. It's just new angles for them, you know? Whatever. Each of us is a freak. That's the fucking cool part. But so many people they assume the looks we give that we don't attach words to, it must mean they thought something awful about me. Like, no. Maybe. But they're still looking.
Funny thing about that. Love to hate, and they still tune in all the time.
Yeah. You know, like the first sets of tickets sold to a drag show are usually to protesters. Like, I don't know if that's really how it works because they just stand outside. But, like, fucking A, those guys are typically fighting for first row seats.
They're also paying for the cause.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
By being there and getting the tickets and doing the thing.
Yeah.
You're literally paying for the cause that you're
Oh, yeah.
bitching about.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of people who are like, it reminds me of way back when I listened to Howard Stern before, like, it did get creepy and I felt bad.
I've never listened to him.
But I used to listen to it all the time because like 97.1 used to be talk radio down here in Detroit, and then I would listen to that in like 7th grade or whatever.
Was he the one off Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
Howard Stern.
No. Howard,
He's the one with the long hair.
Yeah. He looks
Alright.
like Joe Dirt. He's got the black
I know
hair.
who you're talking about. The one with the sunglasses.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Oh, anyway, he'd get a lot of like hate mail and hate calls and stuff. And then he's like, you know what's crazy? Is all these people who are like calling in talking shit, they have like minute by minute details of the show that you could only have if you fucking listen every day. And he's like, what? He kind of had this realization of like, oh my god, like, so many of his haters weren't haters. They were like these contorted fans who couldn't be seen as, they need a reason to witness. They need a reason to participate. But their participation can't be as a participant. That would be egregious to some degree. You know, that would be a sin or a crime or whatever they're chalking it up to these days. But like, they do still feel a deep drive to participate in it and be there for it and like be part of its story and its history. And they don't even fucking realize it. Which is such a weird thing too. Because folks who aren't into drag don't even know there's a show going on to protest. Like,
Most don't actually care.
Yeah. And then shit too.
As long as it doesn't affect them, it's another day. I'm gonna go to the office today. I'm gonna do my thing. I come back home. You know, we do some shitty plans for dinner. Wrap it up. You know, male, female, regardless. You may get lucky that night, and then you go to bed.
Yeah. You do that for a good 80 years, and boom.
Knowing that they call that a successful marriage.
Yeah, success is such a. I gotta track down the quote because I always forget if it's in A Farewell to Arms or Sun Also Rises. But there's this bit where Hemingway talks about how words sort of lose meaning, or maybe they never had meaning to begin with, and he sees them in places, and they just don't make any fucking sense there, like honor and and then words that
Really
once had
doesn't
certain
when you
meaning.
think about it.
Well,
All the stuff that
yeah. How much stuff have we conducted through like legitimate and like noble sense of honor versus how much shit where someone just goes, "It's an honor." And you're like, "Uh-huh. Is it though? Or is it just nice? It could just be nice."
I don't like hitting gentle creatures. But when they talk like that, I do want to hit someone. Like immediately.
It's an honor. Oh. Or when people like this one, so this stems from just like the version of child abuse my family lineage has had for ages. Is when people would say they were proud of me, I would be hella confused, especially if they had no level of like professional credibility in that field. Where like, if I did well in the military and somebody who was not in the military was proud of me, I thought you were a bitch. Because I was like, what the fuck are you proud of, you dork? You don't know what I did. Like, what are you proud of? I'm proud of you. Well, oh, good for you for being proud. Like, if you were a dentist and I brushed my teeth, and you're like, I'm proud of you for that. I'm like, fucking thanks, doc. And I'd I'd cry a little bit. Like, God damn, doc said he was proud of me for how I'm doing a good job with my teeth. Like, it would mean something there. But, like, you can't just whip words around and fucking hope they, like, have the same impact.
I used to tell my officers that. Because you can say shit all the time, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I guarantee.
but I'm like, where's the writing? Where's the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I'm in front of a judge, where's the backup on this shit, doc? Like...
Oh, they're nowhere to be found, by the way.
That's why I want it in triplicate. Couple blue copies, couple green copies.
Oh, they're
Fucking-
buried deep in my fucking ass for years. I turn around to be like, hey, which one of you guys is still here? They're all gone.
I sent Cito a couple sets of our document management regulations just as like a heads up of like, hey, this is our weird default organization we're at. Like, as far as our like ducks in rows scenario, so like we may have to actually tone down our organization skills to meet your expectations. So I'm just letting you know, we might be a bit much. Because he's like, I'd like to get things organized and have things here and da-da-da-da. And I'm like,
baby boy. We come from millennia. Like, Caesar himself started our filing system. And that's only kind of hyperbole.
It's not wrong.
I'm like, oh, this shit'll work.
I know when I get after it, I start whipping at it.
I'm smoking on my goddamn weed. Oh no, there's weed stores all around. No such thing as smoking all the weed. As long as I have enough for the morning. In the morning.
You still have your thing, right?
Which thing? Who dat?
The
I've got these are what's left
okay.
till we go shopping. So I definitely have enough where I could do like one more tonight and then be fine for tomorrow. This should probably be enough for me for tonight. It's already getting on a 3. Hell yeah, dude, we're doing a marathon again. We had 4 views in there. It's probably still us again, but that's cool. We're fun to watch.
Actually wasn't.
These are our spies.
2 people got on that weren't us.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. That's what our connection is.
But we should probably cash it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're already getting there.
Well, I'm ready to go to bed.
We can do one of those Twitch sleep streams. We'll switch over to Twitch and then they'll be like, it's all these like girls in yoga pants and then you and they're like, what the fuck?
Just be me in nightmare mode.
Kicking bottles off the table. They're like, oh.
You fuck. Don't knock on my door.
I saw you take like while laying down full steps. And so what that looked like though is you like from the laying down walking off of the couch and then like kind of like crawling. Like you're doing all the stuff you needed to do to walk, except you were laying down and just pivoting on your shoulder and like but on the couch. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll let him do that. I remember when we tried to wake up my granddaddy, he would legit strangle us. And not like because that was a decision he made, because that's what his body told him to do when you wake up like that. And we go, Granddaddy, Granddaddy. And he's like, don't wake me up like that, boys.
That's how I broke that toe the other day.
Morning. What did you say? When I wake up in the morning, it sounds like a bowling alley.
I mean, you. Maybe it's just me. I'm a fucking freak, but I hear everything. So it's just very. When you wake up, it's very intentional. Let's just say that.
It takes a lot of work for me to be like, okay, we're moving. And there's so much like self, like just me talking to myself. It is, so like a weird thing was like once the DID thing came out, we're like, okay, that makes some more sense, I guess. Why not? Everything else is fucking going on. Why not have multiple personalities too? But part of the sort of gestalt therapy of that is being a Megazord the whole time, and it involves talking to yourself, and like, but in a way that's productive.
Normally, I'm like controlling the. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. don't punch a fucking hole through the fucking door when someone knocks on it.
Yeah. Right. Well, next time then. That's where I'm at with shit. I'm like, you know what? It's the thought that counts some of these times.
I know it. All I'm saying to myself is, really wish it didn't fucking get to me punching through the fucking door.
Dude, I swear, sometimes I will, I'll react, and my immediate reaction to myself is, really?
Talking shit to yourself, like, yeah.
Or like, I'll do this fucking thing, and then I'm like, really?
Are we
Really?
doing this again?
That's
Go
the thing?
get back up in your fucking bedroom.
And then I'm like, you know. It is weird to have parts of your brain that are like, You're like, I thought I was one person. Like, that's not a thing, apparently. They just like to tell you that in grade school so you can give you one grade.
We have a cognitive part, and then we have a fight or flight. I mean, it was always two different things.
I bet you there's more.
There is more. That's just the two main
Yeah.
things that. Never mind. Most civilians, I don't know where they even like that part sits.
There's a lot of folks too where I really do feel they live in a persistent state of one of those. Either full fight where they're like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah,"
It's not actually
because-
fighting though. Like
Well-
it's like a baby version. It's like a tiny
Yes,
little
like
like
kittens.
Tamagotchi
Yeah.
that you put in the fight or flight mode.
Because it's something that like would love to express violence. It's a thing that would love to be feared. A thing that would love to, because like going back to Dipshit's response, the pain and the blah blah blah, like, so that's clearly then somebody who would want to be feared, somebody who wants to be looked at as an intimidating figure
course.
rather than who perceive themselves as.
You're the
an
prom king. You're
unintimidating-
supposed to be feared.
Right. I'm so scary. Dude, that one's still been. And he's not the only one if he catches on, but like that is a persistent thing, not just to this generation, but like all my war books, like throughout all of fucking human history. There's this weird thing where like war's a shit excuse for it. Like we should definitely find other ways of getting it done, but it has provided people an opportunity to find their truest self, because all of their false selves would get anything else and everyone else killed. And so like, sorry Floyd, we don't have time for anything. Like we don't none of those illusions are gonna matter. And so we've had the luxury of having all of our illusions stripped from us, or many at least, or a significant amount. And I think that's, yeah, but I mean, that's where I jump back to that agent school thing of like, we strip them of their delusions by, I don't know, implanting
It's hard.
delusions.
It's hard to do it without experience. I mean, I just don't. I don't know how to. Like,
And it can't be a simulator per se. It can't be.
if
You need tactile. You need. You also need gravity, and not just like. But you need emotional gravity. You need stakes.
yeah, it would be like what Matt did.
Yeah.
Like, Matt. You know,
Picked up stakes.
took that leap. you could work with that.
Yeah.
But for most, when they say like, I don't understand, I get it. I don't expect you to understand.
Right.
I don't want you to understand. In fact, most of the time I'm like, why would I ever want you to go do
Right.
that?
I don't get why they don't ask questions. That's the one, like, the only reason I ever got half as, like, smart as I am is because I'm incessant about asking questions. I'm just gonna keep doing it. I go, what's that about? How come that? That's cool.
Yeah,
What
we're
about
an
that?
angry 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Tell me. Yeah. Why?
Why does that work? Why do I have to clean my room? What am I doing this for?
And you know what? I got answers. Like, you be persistent, you get answers. You put work in, you get answers. And I have questioned everything in this world, and weirdly, I've gotten kind of answers on most. There's like 4 questions I have left in all of like creation.
Some
where
of the
I'm like, I wonder how that one works.
So-
But everything else, I'm pretty much kind of like, alright, yeah, we're good.
so fucking easy to get some of these answers to.
Oh my god.
You have to like throw a temper tantrum to get them. You're like, can you just tell me? Like, I don't know the degree I'm supposed to turn this fucking thing. And they'll fight with you. Oh, you didn't know how to do that? You should know better.
Oh god. Oh. Yeah, that's a
Haven't we taught you better?
the biggest crime in the Midwest is to not be psychic. And I hope it's not like this in other parts of the country, but I definitely get reports of it up here a lot. Where like so many relationships dissolve and so many like family fights and all kinds of crazy bullshit goes on because nobody will tell anybody anything that they later resent them for not knowing. And so now you have all these people full of resentments or unable to act or like da da da. And then like 20 years later, you're like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? And like, well, I didn't want you to be mad at me. But it's
yeah, I didn't know what your reaction was gonna be.
So I was gonna hope and wait till you died. like, I was gonna wait till your
Well,
funeral.
then I
and
don't
then-
need to take responsibility. I could just,
Right.
it'll be done.
Mm-hmm. Just pass it on down.
I mean, you could have just said something and I would have been fine.
Speeds the whole thing up. Like, suffering comes from desiring a thing and wanting it more than you need to. But I think, like, so much suffering comes from, like, not sharing your desires. And, like, because then you're preventing yourself from resolving that desire and, like, getting the thing you want. All you're doing is causing yourself to suffer by not saying what you want. On the offhand chance they'll say no. What if they say yeah, you fucking dork? Like, run it, gun it, do it. Try it. And if they say no, fucking move on. Do the next thing. Like, whatever. There's so many days in a year. There's, what, 365-ish? It's a bunch. Trust me. You got time, kids. Till you don't. But till then, you definitely do. I used to tell people in the kitchen all the time, they get mad at me sometimes. Because they're like, we have 3 minutes until service. I'm like, plenty of time. I can do a lot of shit in 3 minutes. I can make some sauces, I can...
I can make a kid in that.
That's probably true too. Yeah, 3 minutes is a long time. So you got time.
Like, oh, they got a month.
Stick it in, wiggle it around a little bit, baby.
Boom. Plenty of time.
Tommy John again said that. That's not my original quote.
You could even get half a smoke in after that. You'd be like, and
I mean, we
time.
would probably go around for like the second time.
You can light one, hit it, put it in the ashtray.
It depends
Second,
on
maybe.
how excited I was for the first one, I guess. Like,
How big of a delivery?
yeah, how much are you tipping me on this DoorDash?
Woo. I will tell other citizens of the Detroit area, I'm getting excellent service because I'm apparently the only motherfucker who tips. So, if you tip, they will treat you like it's creepy. They're nice. They'll hang out and talk for a while. Like, treat these people better. What the fuck? They're your neighbors first, man. I just got here. Like, tip them. Tip them weird amounts. Tip them extra. Just be like, this is too much. Yes, it is. It is. Do it. And you will love the results. I had my groceries and shit stolen. Like, when I first moved here, it was rough. Like, we get shit jacked all the time. And then they saw how I tipped all the folks who, like, do the delivery stuff. And I have not been fucked with since. And, like, I get taken care of. I have people who are like, nope.
Tipping way too much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I forgot that this thing was set. And I had changed one of the custom things. So I had been tipping $20 on every DoorDash order. Because I wanted to, like, adjust it for this one order I did. I had no idea. I'm like, why is it that every time I order Taco Bell, it's like $50 fucking dollars? And then he looked at the tip line. He's like, "Is you're tipping $20 on a $5 order?" I'm like, oh, yeah.
I mean,
makes sense.
we're not dumb.
I just can't see good.
Yeah, we just
I'm
looking at too much shit.
I started saying I'm so dyslexic, it's almost an act of self-harm. And I read this, I'm like, whoa, you're an asshole. All right, give me a minute. And I'm like, and it's not like I'm dumb. I can read. I am an expert with our language. But like,
Dyslexic.
Disco-lexy. Cannot fucking... Dude, I saw this guy...
My breath tastes like dog shit right now.
I gotta find this thing. This guy had posted a thing in Discord, and I'm so dyslexic that I got offended by it right away. And then I gave it a second, and then I read it again, and I was like, okay. That didn't say that.
Who said what?
So let me find it.
Wait.
It was
in
this meme.
our Discord?
No. It was in the Dungeons and Dragons one.
Jesus, thank you.
And where is it? It was way up in this zone. Oh my word. I'm forgetting everything I thought. What was I looking for? I was looking for a thing. It was funny and related to stuff. What did I say? I have no idea what's happening.
Oh, I'm about to wreck.
Yeah, dude.
You want to turn off?
One day up too many. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
June 12th.
Roger. Well, gangsters and gangsterinas, I'll go turn this shit off. If you sat through all this, well, let us know if you found any parts you liked, or I guess comments and subscriptions. The reason people bug you on all that shit is
any kind of engagement whatsoever is good for algorithms, but clearly, if you're our fan base, you know, who gives a fuck? We're just here for you guys. If you already found us,
If
You want to be here, be here.
yeah,
If not, that's fine too.
yeah, you know, we're a weird little crew, and maybe it's good that we're a little underground still. A lot of people couldn't handle the shit to begin with. So,
Certainly true.
all right, babies, we will see y'all later.